Hey, Bub, this is Wolverine. You're watching Pro Teaches Noobs. This is OG Vegeta. Let's get the views to over 9,000! This is Ryuk. Watch, like, and subscribe, or die.
Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches Noobs. Today I have with me Alex and Eric.
Yo, what's up?
And today we are going over the first of what's going to be a long series of videos, obviously, Rom, the original Marvel year, Rom Spaceknight.
I love that cover. It's so cool.
Frank Miller did it.
Frank Miller.
Early Frank Miller.
Yeah, I read about it. Yeah, I read about that. I saw the cover for #1, and I'm like, wow, Miller's been in the game since, like, wow.
A lot of creators are around longer than we might think.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was back in the day of Marvel doing, first of all, who is Rom? Rom was this toy by Parker Brothers, the board game company, decided to try and go into toy making. So they came up with Rom Spaceknight. And the toy, it came out a bit too late. It would have fit fine with the old G.I. Joe days and everything of the big figures. But by the time it came out, people had the little figures, like, you know, the Star Wars ones and the later G.I. Joes.
So is that like 80s? 80s did that come out as a toy, or is that like 70s?
I think late 70s. This was just a Star Wars
79.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So tail end.
This was around the time, the Star Wars toys hit the market.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It was the year before Empire. One smart thing Marvel did do, though, was Jim Shooter got the rights to do Star Wars comics for Marvel, and it saved the company in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Yep. But now, of course, but unlike Star Wars, they kept it separate, probably part of the contract. But Godzilla, Rom, Micronauts, these are cases, 3 big cases, all getting omnibuses recently, of them incorporating them into the greater Marvel universe.
Right.
Very cool.
And Godzilla and Rom would both be more heavily involved. Micronauts, not as much, for obvious reasons. You know, they're tiny.
Yeah.
Right. They're tiny. They're not like I'm about to go into G.I. Joe and Transformers here because, again, Marvel, but
right.
Yeah.
But like I said, though, but the Rom toy, there wasn't that much about it. All we knew was there was Rom. He had a scanner and a neutralizer, and his enemies were the Dire Wraiths. But all we knew was the name. You ever see the commercial? That's all it is. It's an interesting commercial, but it doesn't give you much.
I'll look at it after.
Yeah, I think it would have worked best, like since he looked so much like the robots from Battlestar Galactica. Maybe he could have had one of those things you look into, kind of like the $6 million.
Those things.
That would have been a cool addition or something.
Oh, but if you also see the toy, though, it's not much movement. Just like
the articulation was limited. Yeah.
Yep, and he would have a big, his scanner would be a big thing separate from his neutralizer. Here, they're combined into one because it's much more convenient. But
of course.
But like I said, we don't know. We just know he's from Galador, and he's one of the many Space Knights, and he's after the Dire Wraiths. From there, but we don't know. There are no other Space Knights, nothing like that. And thus, Marvel was able to get free reign on everything.
Right, so that's where the comic came in.
Yep, and thus we would have one of their best writers, and they're really good writers. I'm not going to say best writers, but definitely one of their best as far as being dedicated to everything. Bill Mantlo, who also created Rocket Raccoon, among many others. Now he's still around, but he, after getting in a car and getting hit by a car while he was rollerblading, he went in. He doesn't function anymore.
No, that's too bad.
Can't remember the last time I went rollerblading.
Basically, he's still alive.
Yes,
but his cognitive functions are
he's not. Can't really do that stuff anymore, unfortunately.
I think he's aware of things though. Like he obviously was happy about Rocket in the movie, but we don't know. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
such a loss. There's
That's
such a great
unfortunate.
creator. I mean, again,
Well,
he's still
I've
around, but
never seen. I was gonna say I've never like seen his writing or anything, but I can't wait to see it now when we read this stuff.
Yep, well, yeah, because he did this and Micronauts. In fact, whereas Rom was assigned to him, Micronauts was the one where he went to Jim Shooter and says, "Get the right to it. My son just showed me the toys, and I got ideas."
I love it when the creators' kids get involved. It's like how Michael Eisner had a kid his son eating gummy bears one day and said, I know what to put on Disney television now."
Right. But yeah, so
they're everywhere.
Yep. As I say, after more than 4 decades, and Rom's thrilling adventures in the Marvel Universe are collected at last. He has spent 200 years trapped in armor, protecting his homeworld of Galador from the dreaded Dire Wraiths. Now the cyborg warrior pursues his dreaded enemy to a new battlefront in their cosmic war. Earth. Only Rom can detect the alien horrors posing as humans and banish them to Limbo. Will he be greeted as a hero or feared as an invader?
The first one, given this is Marvel, the first, then the second.
Yeah, but to be fair though, the way his neutralizer works, you don't blame people.
True.
Yep. And I hear
like this. I don't want to be hit by any ray gun, let alone a neutralizer.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yep. But yeah. And now there's obviously so much. There's like the comet appeared out of nowhere, catching Earth's early warning systems off guard. If it was a comet, ground-based radar tracked it down, losing it finally in the lower altitudes over West Virginia. A seismograph registered its impact in the Allegheny Mountains. Tomorrow, somebody from the university will investigate. If there is a tomorrow, by then it may already be too late. The crater glows white hot. The Earth itself has crystallized from the impact, but the armored giant emerges unscathed from the inferno. He is here.
Oh, that's metal. It's so metal.
Also, the throwback Stan Lee presents. That was the face front. You'll believe it. Stan Lee here with a robot hero unlike any other. I'm telling you. Hey, if there's another invasion of Earth, make sure it's not another Skrull Kree war. Enjoy.
But where is here? To his right, he senses the surge of electrical power harnessed to give heat and light. This world then harbors intelligence. To his left, he notes gentle mountains worn down by the ages. This world is neither old as he knows time nor young. Then the car approaches. He does not know to call it that, of course, along the ribbon of rock across which he stands. Pale headlight beams, pale into one who has seen into the hearts of stars, illuminate his armor. He watches them advance, standing his ground, and he starts to speak. But it is then that he senses the fear, the horror in the mind of the being guiding the vehicle. Someone standing in the road. Oh my! The being loses control of the car. He senses that it is his own strangeness that is at fault. For the briefest of seconds, he stands puzzled. This being makes no effort to save itself. And then he understands it cannot. No, it is impossible. The danger is past, yet he still senses fear in the being. Fear of him. Who are you? What do you want? Please, I don't want this to be happening. Go away. Leave me alone. Its fear seems genuine. Perhaps the being is what it appears to be. Appearances can be deceiving. There is only one way to be sure. He summons from subspace the energy analyzer. No, don't hurt me. Please, somebody, anybody, help me. Against the corona of the analyzer's ray, the being stands revealed. She is a woman of the race called on this world Homo sapiens. As her terror gives way to wonderment, he knows that she is not the enemy. Yet the enemy is here. There is no doubt of it. Yet he has tracked a dire race across the cosmos to this world. I am alive, unharmed. It didn't do anything to me. He will seek out the enemy wherever they may hide, for such is his duty and his most fervent desire. I know, whoosh. Whereas he sees his mission with crystal clarity, he leaves behind one who knows only one thing, that an alien walks the earth. The only comforting thought in that for the terrified Brandy Clark is that soon she will not be the only one to know it. Clareton, a small West Virginia city, population 14,000, friendly town where everybody's got a pleasant word for everyone else. Hello, Harvey. How's business? Ferretum and Midland, Arthur. Hot enough for you, gentlemen? And Clareton is the kind of place where nothing out of the ordinary ever happens. Until today. Look, what in Sam Hells is it? Where did it come from? Maybe it's a promotional stunt for the new picture. Or maybe, Sheriff. But I don't think so. It's some kind of monster.
Robot monster.
A robot monster. Again, he senses the panic that a cellular rifle has engendered in these beings. But what is it? What does it want here? He also senses that the evil he seeks is close at hand. Him, how did he track us here? What does it matter? Now that he's found us, the whispered words do not carry. And the rest of the crowd backs away from the armored unknown, even as the still trembling Brandy Clark arrives on the scene. If you're wondering why I'm doing this voice, I'm trying to go for what the commercial voice did.
All right.
That's why I'm going for that, because it talks like this.
You
Let's
sound
like commercial after.
Yeah,
What?
but you said what? What, Alex?
No, I said I gotta have to watch that commercial after. It sounds really interesting.
Yeah, but Robbie, it kind of sounds like the robots are narrating this now.
No. Trust me, I'm not. But he's making some kind of weapon appear. Look out! He's turning on us. It must be a death ray. God, save us! Save us! His energy analyzer will not harm them. His only function is to reveal the truth about us. There's nowhere for us to run. No place to hide now. From deep behind his visored headpiece, Rom's eyes burn with a baleful brilliant. Then, even as his energy analyzer vanishes from his one hand, his neuralizer appears in the other. And its purpose is swiftly revealed. Please, we beg of you! As far as it looks like, they are vaporized.
Oh, damn.
But in actuality, they were just banished.
Hey, Flash Gordon, eat your heart out. Actually, I should say Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers had that show in the late 70s. He's the one with the disco suits.
Thanks in heaven, he disintegrated them where they stood. Mike Collins and Barry Skies. And Mike Collins and Barry Skies, dead. The robot's a killer. In abject terror, the populace flees. There's no telling who he'll kill next. Run, get off the street. No one's safe from him. But the woman, the same being he first encountered upon his arrival, has not taken flight. There is much about the behavior of her fellow humans that Rom must know. The woman shall explain. Well, what do you want of me? Why did you save me from crashing out there on the road and then come here and murder in cold blood 2 men I've known all my life? Oh, what are you doing? No, please. I must have been insane trying to communicate with you. You're a murderer, a monster. Don't touch me. At that moment, elsewhere in Clareton. But I'm telling you, I am Mayor Bradford of Clareton. No, I haven't been drinking. That's right, a robot. A big robot. He's invaded my town. Killed 2 people already. Look, will you let me talk to the governor or not? What did they say? What did they say, John? They didn't say anything. They just laughed and hung up. Mr. Mayor, the monster's flown off and taken Brandy Clark with him. We've got to help her. You have to get help, sir. How? When no one will believe me. But in the Clareton telephone office, other townspeople are finding contact the proper authorities considerably less difficult. Did that bumbling fool of a mayor have any luck, Clara? Not a bit, Sheriff. They thought he tied one on. But we won't have any problems getting help. Hello, Central. Get me Washington. And General Anders here, and there's a call for you on the red phone. Thank you. I'll take it on my desk. This is Andrews. No need to identify yourself. Only we know to use this exchange. Here on Earth, you're right. All right, are you sure? All right, give me the details. Seconds later, back in Clareton, he's sending help? Of course. The National Guard unit will be dispatched to Clareton immediately, and some of our people will be among them. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
And meanwhile, on the outskirts of Clareton, why have you brought me here? What are you going to do now? Kill me? Rom's only answer is to pull another device from hyperspace. And now, see, that is more like the toy, but instead, that was supposed to be in the toy, that was his analyzer, but here it's a translator. Do not fear. You can speak, but the translator enables us to communicate. But why didn't you speak before? And why did you murder those poor townspeople? Those I neutralized were not human. You're mad. I've known those two men for years. I went to high school with one of them. Nonetheless, they only appear to be human, that they might dwell unsuspected among your race. They are the enemy I seek, the Dire Wraiths. Listen, woman of Earth, and perhaps you will understand after I tell you the legends of the Spaceknights.
Space, the final frontier.
Final frontier.
These are the voyages. Oh wait, sorry, true believers, that was somebody else. Here are the Spaceknights.
Okay, 200 years ago, as you know, time, my home planet, the paradise and world of Galador, was at the peak of a golden age of peace and prosperity. The vast and Galadorian armada soared the spaceways, bringing the light of our knowledge to the darkest recesses of the galaxy. War was unknown. For countless centuries, we had been welcomed, not with fear or prejudice, but with joyous thanksgivings as bearers of health and knowledge, opening the way to a better life. But it was in expecting welcome wherever we went that we made our gravest error. Navigator, report, please. We are entering that sector of space designated on our star chart as the Dark Nebula, Captain. Uncharted space. Here are monsters, eh? Well, we come to in peace, bringing offerings of technology, philosophy. We have nothing to fear. Race Lord, the accursed Galadorians traitors come bringing their gifts of light into our Dark Nebula. Let the fools come. There are forces at work within the Dark Nebula that will play havoc with their instruments, while we attack from ambush. Captain, and we are beset by enemy warships. And hard about helmsmen. Form the fleet into a defensive raid. The Armada formed a space sphere, a bristling ring of forces against which our enemies hurled wave after wave of screaming wing fighters. The proud ship of the line fell before the withering enemy firepower. Yet, as long as defense spheres could be maintained, the Armada stood a chance of withdrawing from the Dark Nebula. But such was not to be. The Galadorians seek to retreat, and driving them from the Dark Nebula is only half the victory. We must crush the Galadorian Armada, and then accursed and Galador herself. Now let the sorcerers summon forth the all-consuming Deathwing.
Wow, what an asshole.
The last message received from the Galadorian Armada told of a dark force, of a horrible omnivorous shape that blocked out the stars, even as it hopelessly shattered the defense sphere, exposing the Armada to the Wraith warships. Yet, rather than attack our helpless Armada, the enemy ships fled themselves in abject horror from the creature of their own creation. But there was no salvation in flight for the Galadorians. Keep on getting all of these different emails. Sorry. The creatures enveloped their ships, filling their hearts with horror, their souls with a numbing darkness, even as the chill vapor of its breath stripped the very flesh from their bones. Such was the tale of terror that sped through space, to be received by far-flung Galador days later. Destroyed the entire Armada? The people know, Prime Director. Bad news travels quickly, yet there is no panic. Not yet. The throngs come to hear what must be done to save our world. What can be done? Our outlying patrols monitor the enemy's approach. Even now, it is only a matter of days before they reach us. We have one chance, one choice left us. Perhaps, no, you cannot even be thinking of asking the people that. We must send forth the call. Whomever would sacrifice his humanity to save Galador, let him come forward in this our darkest hour. It shall be as you say, Prime Director. The people listened in shock as the herald explained what the Prime Director asked. I do not know if I can explain to you the trauma of asking a populace that revered all life as holy to sacrifice their own humanity. They accepted the herald's words in silence. Some averted their eyes. No one among them wished to be the first to give up all that he or she cherished. Yet each of us knew what had to be done. I, Rom, offer my life to save Galador, Prime Director. After the first hand was raised, millions volunteered. Only a few of those millions were chosen. I was fortunate, for I was among them. And they come, Prime Director, the bravest, strongest, noblest of our youth. Yet only the finest among them will be chosen to sacrifice their beloved humanity. This is the most sorrowful day in Galador's history, Elder, and perhaps also the most glorious.
Heavy.
Yep, what choice was there? Galador, a world that had given us life, taught us to cherish our humanity, was endangered, and only in the Hall of Science could a weapon be forced to save it. A weapon that was us. It was cold under the laser knives of the surgeon. We lay on the slab meant for healing and watched our humanity grafted bit by bit onto an unfeeling suit of armor, leading to grafting and fusion and the grafting stage 1, fusion of human genes with cyborg circuitry. And on the day our enemies appeared in the skies over Galador, we were ready. The surgery was complete, and we that were no longer human stood assembled. The Space Knights! Oh, Galador, looks to you for salvation, my brave children. Go forth and greet the foe with fire in your heart. We shall! Carried aloft on blazing rocket pods, each brandishing a different weapon, attuned to his or her cyborg form, the Space Knights streamed forth from shining Galador. There were many race ships and few of us, but we formed a line in space, determined to repulse the dark enemy or die in the trying. Hold the line! Sorry, I had to quote Mass Effect there. The fighting was fierce, savage. My sensors rang with the screams of the dying, with the searing snarl of laser fire. For every race ship that fell, it seemed that 2 more took its place, but the Space Knights would not retreat. And finally, seeing there was no defeating us, the enemy summoned forth the scourge of the Galadorian Armada. Go, Deathwing! Destroy the Space Knights! Against all odds, we faced the dreaded swallower of stars. Dozens of Space Knights died, yet we held our guard until, at last, our combined might drove back that demon of the Dark Nebula. And in that soul-searing battle, by the hand of a Space Knight, the monster fell. Your comrades salute you, warrior! Hail, Rom, greatest of the Space Knights! Yet the enemy is only routed, not defeated. Our mission cannot truly be saved and said to be over until the last of the Dire Wraiths have been hunted to the very ends of the galaxy and cast into Limbo. Only when we have fulfilled our mission will the quest be over. Only then may we reclaim our lost humanity. Thus, for 2 centuries, I have pursued the Dire Wraiths across the silent spaceways, woman of Earth, and now my quest has led me here. You're saying those people you killed were, whatever it was you called them, Dire Wraiths. Yes, the Dire Wraiths have the diabolical ability to disguise themselves as any living creature. Thus they have hidden among you here on Earth, but revealed in the glow of my energy analyzer. They appear as the evil sorcerous entities they truly are, until my neutralizer banishes them to the phantom dimension of Limbo. Look,
Ooh.
Mr. Rom, you're asking me to take the word of a giant alien that people I've known all my life aren't people at all, but some kind of sinister space spooks? Did you not see the race revealed when I banished them to Limbo? All I saw was two people die horribly in flames. Wait, can it be that my analyzer reveals the truth to my cyborg eyes alone? Perhaps that is why the humans fled in terror. To me, the enemy was clear, but to human eyes, it must have seemed that I, an alien monster, had slain their neighbors. It helps, Rom. It helps, Rom. Summoned by the Claritin authorities, you might have convinced me you're telling the truth. But how can you convince the National Guard? There's our man from Mars, men. And those townspeople were telling the truth. He's got a girl. We daren't fire again until he lets her go. Move away from me, woman of Earth, before your rescuers fire their weapons again. They should not have been able to find us so quickly unless they were aided by race technology. My energy analyzer shall soon reveal the truth. But as Rom summons his analyzer from subspace, certain individuals among the watching human point to his action as an indication of overt hostility. That's the weapon he used to kill our neighbors. It's a death ray. And now, I don't know, Harvey. It doesn't look the same to me. How would you know, Mayor? You can even get the governor to accept your phone call. We'll have to assume the robot is wielding some kind of death ray, Mayor, and take action accordingly. All units, open fire! For perhaps, in the space of a single heartbeat, Rom is lost in the soldier's view as the fierce fusillade pounds the hillside. But it is only when Rom emerges from the gunpowder haze that this West Virginia unit of the National Guard realizes their attack has had no effect. Why do you attack me, humans, when those who would harm us both reside within your very ranks? And the monster can talk! I ain't sticking around to hear what he's got to say. Shells have no effect on him. But what about flame? I have flown near the stars, human. Your pale, pitiful fire cannot harm me.
Oh.
That alien. Yeah. I know. That alien, if it is an alien, is putting my boys to rout. We've tricked the humans into fighting our battle for us. But they lack the power to hurt Rom. We may have to intervene ourselves. Still, the humans persist in attacking me.
I call this move the Superman.
Yeah. Or Hulk.
Yeah, or the Hulk.
In trying to save them from a greater evil than they can ever dream, I may be forced to harm them. Keep firing. We've got to draw the monster away from the retreating tank crews. Yeah, but what do we do now that he's headed towards us? That's easy, soldier. And that's easy, soldier. We head for the hills. There's nothing that can stop that monster. He shrugged off everything we've thrown at him. Well,
Alex, you've been watching The Stooges again, haven't you?
Yes, clearly.
Bill, they've been army men in shorts before. Hey, let's go get him. After all, we're World War II. Get him.
What?
Sorry. Oh, you're reading.
Well, he won't shrug this off. Hey, I've never seen a gun like that before. Where did you? Shut up. Damn. The pain. What? Washing over my circuits and nervous systems in waves of fire. It can only be a race weapon, wielded by a race in human guise. That is the truth you will never live to reveal, Galadorian. And that is a lie you will carry with you to Limbo. Death is better than eternal banishment. No!
Bye-bye.
Death ray disintegrated poor Carson. And sound the retreat, Captain. We're up against more than we can handle here. But even as Rom advances toward the withdrawing troops, Brandy Clark decides which side she's on. The weapon that GI attacked Rom with is like no gun I've ever seen on Earth. If I can only show it to the commanding officer of the National Guard, and hold the young lady while I grab the disruptor, Arthur. Mr. Jenkins, Mr. Liddy, Sheriff Barnes, what are you doing? Merely protecting ourselves, Brandy. But you knew about that weapon, knew what it can do. You're the enemy, aren't you? You're raised. Rom, look out! The Earth woman crying a warning, she believes the tale I told her. And in believing, she has saved me from destruction. The ray destroyed them all. Was Rom's story true? Have I done the right thing? We've done the right thing, human, for your race, but my people will not forget that you sided with Rom. This sector is cleansed of Dire Wraiths, but my quest goes on. The monster's flying off, not because of anything we did, Mayor, I assure you. Oh, gone without a word of thanks, leaving me with my doubts. The news from Claritin travels fast. Yes, I've heard the reports. You know what must be done. Yes, I know. All our wit people must be warned that Rom has arrived on Earth, but my usefulness here in Claritin is at an end. I can best serve my race lords in another place and another guise.
Yeah.
Breeze lofts the transformed blackbird into the night. Tomorrow will be a new beginning. So, how was that?
That was great.
The first issue.
Not bad for a first introduction.
I know. Did everything he needed to do.
No, it's very reminiscent of old school Marvel. Marvel. Hero arrives. The town is wondering, what's going on? That gun, big fight. The army gets involved. All very space age B movie.
Yeah. Very beautifully told too.
Yeah, it is. And I also like that it's a small town too, because it goes back to a lot of the old movies like Invasion of Body Snatchers or The Blob.
I was seeing The Blob when they were running, when they were by the movie theater too, and they were running around. Reminded me of Blobfest.
Right. And now I'm using a movie marquee to say, is that a publicity stunt for the movie? Which I like, because Marvel was always doing, and this was a favorite thing of Stan. They saying, no, it's just a publicity. Cut! That's not an enemy. That's my actor, Spidey.
Leave him alone.
Oops, sorry about that. Trust me, I'm a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Get the guy with the Spider-Man costume out of here, but I'm the real Spider-Man. Tell that to your agent.
Yeah, but there is one contriveness I have to say, that in all his times hunting, he never dealt with a race that saw him, attacking the Dire Wraiths, and it looked like he was frying them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's been doing it for a long time, so.
Yeah, but the fact that no one ever called him out on it before.
Yeah.
He's had to met other species.
Yeah, of course.
Well, does it explicitly say no one's?
Yeah, he says like, can it be that only I can see it?
I guess. Well, no, I get that, but he never mentioned doing it on other planets all over the galaxy.
No. But obviously, he's had all of it. He's been doing it for 200 years.
He's been for how many years was it? It was like a long time. So,
and two things. Number one, then sometimes they weren't seen. Number two, we forget that a lot of the aliens in Marvel are beings of superior intelligence, and then us, most of the humans outside of like Reed and Tony and all that aren't super intelligent. That can't see beyond what they see with their eyes.
But also, I think it's because it's the first issue. Obviously, the writer's not thinking that far ahead in that regard.
Yeah, they're just
nope. Any arcs that came out at this point was like we don't make mistakes. We made happy little accidents.
Thank you, Bob Ross. But it's like. What was I gonna say? It's like when they don't think that far ahead. I guess they don't have like the timeline down yet. So maybe when they say that, they're still in their heads. They're like, oh yeah, this like happened yesterday, and we're like, hey Rob, could you go to this Earth or something? So it's still kind of a work in progress. But even then, it's still like there's still a lot of good to enjoy.
Yes, there is. There's a lot, and the other thing is. I think this is around the time Stan had the Nobel Prize. So Marvel fans could write in and say take and film the holes and say, okay, here, take Kitch Cannon. Here's your little envelope, kid.
Yeah, I did like that though. How when people see it, they think he vaporized them. Ah!
Yeah, I'm like how else are you supposed to think? You're like, I'm getting out of here.
I know, but I did like that though. How they're just like he vaporized them. Run for the hills.
Yeah. Like I'm not sticking around.
I mean, there's ray guns firing everywhere in this book. The perfect thing to read after in a post Star Wars world.
Yeah.
Yep. But I got a feeling we're only going to get through 6 issues. So I think that's going to be our thing. If I'm going to read through everything.
Yeah, it's been a half an hour. It's been a half an hour already. It's okay. We could do 6-issue increments every video.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that's going to take us a lot longer. That's going to take us like over 12 lessons.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Well, it's just that you read everything in the first issue, my man.
And I'm going to keep reading it because the writing is so good.
Yeah, but you didn't browse through it like you think sometimes do.
True.
That's why it's going to take us longer.
Well, I think that is also worth it, though. I do think it's worth it to go over it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already just the writing's really good so far, so I'm definitely sticking with it.
when Mobster, what do you see in the voice I'm giving him? It's pretty much what Linkara gave him when he went over it, but I think it works.
I had a feeling you were trying to do Linkara.
Well, it's the only, it's probably the one point that makes sense, where it can still have some bit of emotion, but it's still this whole, I come seeking evil, I come to exact revenge.
And I still say you sound like Conehead if it was Darth Vader.
Hello,
Vader.
We are from Earth.
Hey, it's better than Mark Chang from Fairly Odd Parents or Rob.
What's up?
Gives him the surfer dude voice. What's up, fellow heroes? Dudes.
Timmy Turner, you have returned.
But then again, Michelangelo will be like, "Don't worry, Marvel fans, because you demanded it."
Right, but anyway, when Mobster Archie Stryker planned this job, he thought it would be simple: kidnap the manager of the Lacerium Corps and get him to open the triple lock vault and take off with the money inside before police arrive. No problem, until a gunmetal gleaming nightmare and crash through the skylight. Crash!
Oh yeah.
It's Rom! Some kind of robot, but where'd it come from? What's it want? I come seeking evil. I come to exact revenge. Lansing, West Virginia became the second town to experience the extraterrestrial terror of Rom.
Every time I hear glass breaking, I think it's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Now again, it's all notion, just the whole idea of this, the scanner, the analyzer, and the neutralizer. I like that.
Yeah.
Yep. And Stryker, could that thing be working for the cops? No way. They couldn't have known about this heist. We didn't trip any alarm. Christ, look at the size of him. The fools, the blind human fools. It's not them Rom's after. Humans, stand your ground. If you are what you appear to be, you have nothing to fear from my energy analyzer. Bathed in the analyzer's unearthly glow, the Stryker gang recoils in unaccustomed fear. And Stryker, what's that ray doing to us? I don't know, Maverick, but I feel like my stomach's turning inside out. Yet Rom's ways leave the human gangsters unharmed and reveal the inhuman aspect of the cringing plant manager. And humans, stand aside. The one I want cowers behind you. Did you hear that, Stryker? The robot ain't after us at all. No, but he's after the guy we snatched. And we're still in his way. Shoot, you slobs! Rom knows that I'm a Dire Wraith, disguised as a human. I'm doomed unless I can make use of the human rabble. Rom's an alien, a murderer. He'll kill us all. Rom advances. He cannot understand why the humans protect one of those whose evil designs threaten their Earth. He forgets that only his cyborg eyes, aided by his analyzer, can see the race as he truly is. Our bullets just bounce up in the blasted robot. He's still coming, and between us and the only way out of this place. Let's both rush him at once, Basher. Bah!
Bad idea. Bad idea.
There are none between us now, Wraith. But what are you going to do to me? Show you more mercy than you showed the once proud Starfleet of Galador. Prepare, Wraith, to be banished. No, not that! And Stryker, now's our chance to get out of here. What are you waiting for? I can't leave that poor guy to get killed by some monster. And not if this laser cannon does what I am hoping it'll do. Searing fire, striking me from behind. Perhaps my cyborg forearm, a composite of flesh and Space Knight armor, can withstand the beam of focused light. Yet this is the first Earth weapon that has caused me pain. It must be dealt with. The race will have to wait. Slowly, the Space Knight turns. Now, while Rom's distracted, I gotta sound the alarm. Hello, operator. Get me the police. What's that? Rom's here in Lansing. Are you sure? All right, do what you can. I'll send help as soon as I've notified the others. Meanwhile, Archie Stryker challenges the might of Rom. Christ, I've seen laser slice through steel like it was butter, but I've got this cannon at full force, and the robot just keeps coming. What does it take to stop him? more power than your Earth science has yet harnessed human. Yet even now, the Dire Wraiths add their technology to yours, so that they may one day launch an Earth-based invasion against my world beloved Galador. Stryker, the robot can't be stopped. For the love of mercy, let's get out of here. Stunned by the laser's backlash, the Stryker gang staggers through the showroom. Ignoring them, Rom's glowing eyes again seek out the disguised race. Rom has dispersed the humans. There'll be no further diversion to keep him from me. Yet, perhaps I can still save myself by hiding within the company vault until the others come. But Rom, greatest of the space knights, has fought against the race too long to be denied his revenge by a mere steel door, no matter how sick.
He's pissed.
There is no place on Earth for you to hide, Wraith. You may have succeeded in eliminating me, Rom, but there are countless others who will take my place. Then they too shall be dealt with, evil one. Stryker, the robot's not paying any attention to us. Let's hightail it out of here now. No, I can't hear what that robot and the guy we snatched are saying to each other, but I just can't leave a fellow human in the hands of that metallic monster. Honor among thieves?
Yeah, what?
Thanks. Sometimes even evil has standards.
I know.
It's like Penguin says, hey, guys, easy. They all have a mother. Especially if they're related. It's like, I can't. He's my brother. Brother. We're your family now. I was afraid of that.
Yeah.
The Shredder uses you. He cares nothing about the people you hurt.
Okay, Eric. Okay.
Sorry. No. I was just waiting for you to finish eating. Continue the story.
Yep. But 2 days to act, and too far away to hear. All Archie Stryker can do is in the next few seconds is watch as it's been over 2 centuries since you and your fellow space knights defeated us in pitched battle, Rom. We may have fled into space, but we haven't been resting. No, we've been building, planning for the day when the awesome combination of super science and dark magic wielded by the Dire Wraiths will once again be strong enough to threaten your precious, peace-loving world of Galador. It is for the purpose that I was instructed to develop the Laserium core to get the humans to unwittingly build for us the laser components of a massive race transmission base so that we might attract those rays still roaming the spaceways to Earth. Disruptor. And yes, and that's only one of the many weapons we have created to deal with your kind, Rom. Soon, we race will be ready to strike again, and all the power of the Space Knights will be able to stop us. No, and his neutralizer materializing from subspace into his outstretched hand, Rom dispatches the shrieking race to an exile in an other dimension. Limbo.
There you go.
I know, but even as the creature assumed its real guise, prior to vanishing, it manages to strike out and the master control button, activating the countless laser displays in the massive Laserium showroom. Searing rays of coherent and light beams sizzle through the air, striking the armor of the Space Knight with the force that staggers him.
Ouch, oof.
And rocket pods roaring, Rom, the Space Knight, soars skyward as Laserium core erupts into flames behind him. The place is going up in smoke, but that robot's escaping. Stryker gang, I don't get it. If you punks are burglars, not arsonists. We didn't torch the place, copper. Rom did. Rom, you saw this creature destroy Laserium core? Blasted right, I did. And what he did to the poor manager. Lord, as long as I live, I'll never forget that poor buzzard scream as Rom fried him with some kind of death ray. I'd do anything to stop that monster from killing another human being. Anything! Perhaps you'll get your chance, Archie Stryker, once I inform the others. The next morning, dawn rises over Clareton, a small suburban community 20 miles from Lansing, West Virginia, a town still reeling from the first visitation of Rom. Morning, Mr. Clark. I've come to see how Brandy's doing. She's calmer now, Steve. Come on in. She'll be glad to see you. And inside the Clark residence, I'd say your daughter suffered a mild case of shock, Mrs. Clark. And I'm telling you that I'm absolutely fine, Dr. Peters. I know what I saw, and nothing in your little black bag will change that. And Brandy, look who's here. Steve, you don't think I'm suffering delusions induced by shock, do you? You believe I'm telling the truth about Rom? Right, Rom. My flesh crawls every time I think of that gleaming metal horror. I still remember how he appeared. Yeah, we got a summary, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Remember, every comic, somebody's first. Always does.
That's right.
But better than a ditch that phrase. Every comic is someone's first, but not every comic is the first.
Right.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I always feel like that's a proper to say the full phrase.
Right,
Yeah, of
because that there'll be, if there was people who picked up Service the Aardvark once and be like, where's the rest of the story? And then they realize, holy smokes, the reprints are phone books.
Yeah.
All right, I still remember how he appeared in the middle of Clareton, his red eyes blazing like live coals. The townspeople attacked to the side of him. And then when he whipped out that death ray of his and fried Mike Collins and Perry Skies where they stood, it was like a nightmare. And the rest of us fled that misbegotten metal monster. And as the rest of us fled, that misbegotten monster swept you off your feet and carried you away screaming into the night. Thank heavens the National Guard arrived in time to save you. To save me? Is that what you think? Well, you're wrong. All of you. Rom doesn't mean any harm. He came here to save us from an evil aliens called the Dire Wraiths. They're here, disguised, living among us ordinary humans. Brandy, for the love of heaven, I'm telling you that if you is true. Rom told me how the Wraiths and tried to destroy his world, how they would have succeeded if he had been for Rom and the Spaceknights. Brandy, that's enough. You're upsetting your mother. Her mother's hardly ever said a word.
And only in humanity.
What about me, Daddy? It upsets me to know that you all think I'm out of my mind. I'm not. I believe Rom. He isn't a monster. He's a tortured, tormented man. Brandy, go to her, Steve. Maybe you can bring her to her senses. But as he follows her outside, Steve Jackson finds it hard to talk to the young woman he's loved for as long as he can remember. Brandy, what's wrong? Why are you acting this way? I've tried to tell you and my parents, Steve. Why won't anyone believe me? About Rom, you mean? Come on, honey. That cold-blooded monster murdered people you and I have known all of our lives. We both saw it. I saw something. Look, honey, you've been through hell. Your nerves are strung out. Don't go back to your apartment today. Stay here with your folks. Get some rest. Oh, Steve, I'm so confused. Hold me, please. That's what I'm here for, Brandy.
Good old small town romance.
Yep.
Yep.
The embrace that they have countless times before, but it's not the same. In the end, it is Brandy who breaks away. I'll call you later, Steve. Don't worry about me. I'll be right. Sure, honey. I'll see you soon. And when Steve was gone, oh, Tempest, are they right? Am I in shock? Suffering from delusions when I believe the words of a creature from another world? No, I won't accept that. When Ron spoke to me, there was a few brief seconds I saw the flash of a soul. So fine, so noble. Tempest, what? Oh, someone's hiding the gazebo. Rom! For a second, and for long seconds, Brandy could think of nothing to say. Again, she questions her sanity. While her head says that it is madness, her heart tells her to trust the cold, gleaming being before her. She listens to her heart. You came back, but Rom does not speak. It's been 2 centuries since he ceased to be a human, yet he has not forgotten how it feels to hold a woman in his arms. When he breaks his silence, his words reveal nothing of his thoughts. I have returned because your world is so new to me, so strange. I need information. Oh, I see. She is hurt. Did she think he'd return for something? Or I attract a Dire Wraith to its lair. Yet as I sought to banish the creature to Limbo, a human, a hardened criminal, displayed misguided valor by attempting to save the race from my vengeance. He probably thought you were killing a fellow human being, Rom. It all sounds so insane. Yet I saw the weapon the race tried to destroy you with. The nightmare is real. The race are on Earth. But how can we humans help you defeat the foe we can't even recognize? I don't believe it. I came back to talk to Brandy and found her casually conversating with that monster.
That cheating bitch.
Easy there, buddy. He hasn't even taken her out to dinner yet.
Meanwhile, in the skies over Washington, D.C., the Raven circles, then dives towards its goal, a bay door in the roof of the military intelligence building known as Safeguard opens to receive it, and the Raven is in. silently winging through deserted corridors. Down it flies, past the illuminated directories, over various doorways, until, veering through one particular entrance, the Raven reaches its goal. Ah, there she is now. About time. She had to fly a long way, Senator. It's fortunate that the security alert I called cleared the base and allowed her to enter unseen. And granted, but time is of the essence. Quickly, sister, transform yourself so we may hear your report. Of course, in my human guise as Clara and Knowles, switchboard operator for the village of Clareton, West Virginia, I saw our deadliest foe arrive on Earth. Rom is here. Rom, by the Dark Nebula, are you sure? S.H.I.E.L.D. has confirmed it, Senator. Uh-oh!
S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, boy.
I do like this, how they've been here for a while.
Yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, Fury, Nick, Sergeant. Have you heard about the Avengers Initiative?
Yeah.
And continue. Very well. Rom sells through our disguise and bears 5 of our people to Limbo. I sounded the alarm, and after transforming myself, flew to bring you the news at once. You did well. Our work on Earth is jeopardized. We must act, and quickly. Yes, Rom must be crushed. I've already got the humans under my command working on that, Senator. Unwittingly, of course. Excellent. Coordinate your efforts. We have labored too long to allow our plans to be disrupted now. The technology of the humans must be combined with our superior science magic. Science and dark magic for one purpose and one purpose only. The complete and utter destruction of Rom, greatest of the Spaceknights. The Dire Wraiths goal is shared by Stephen Jackson. For at that moment in Clareton, Brandy, run for the house! Steve, what are you doing? I'm protecting you from this monster. Monster. Since learning the Earth language called English, Rom has heard that term applied to himself more than once. He doesn't like it. And no, he cannot believe that Brandy would choose anything but one of her own as a companion. Oh, is he in love with her already?
Oh.
First woman, yeah, she's the most beautiful woman on Earth. Not to mention the only one you met. It still counts.
Come on.
He summons his energy analyzer from subspace to make certain that robot's gonna kill me. Rom, no, Steve's a friend. He didn't mean any harm. Rom could respond and reassure the frightened Earthwoman, but he remains silent, allowing the humans to think what they will as he activates the energy analyzer. Yeah! For even a cyborg space is not above jealousy.
And those eyes need to be green, not red.
Yeah. Tone it back, Rob.
Oh, what?
No, I was just saying, tone it back, Rob. Don't let your feelings get in the way.
Yep. Oh, your analyzer. I'd forgotten. Yes, its only purpose is to reveal Dire Wraiths, whatever their disguise. I used it on you during our first encounter, but Steve didn't know. Yeah, you terrified him. I am. Sorry. I'm alive. Alive! No, and those sounds. What? The police. Oh, Steve, you didn't call them? You bet I did. As soon as I saw you with this killer, they'll handle him. John, those sirens, what? Oh, no, Sarah. Brandy and Steve are, Sarah. Brandy and Steve are being menaced in our own backyard by that monster. Again, that searing word coming from those he's come to aid. Steve, you've got to stop the police. Tell them your goal was a mistake. Like fun, I will. Like fun. Like hell, I'll say like fun. I will. This freak. Sorry. Like fun, I will. Like
it's the comics. It's the comics code. You know, you got to.
Yeah, but come on. Like fun.
Wait, didn't they say hell earlier in the issue?
Yeah, but it's described as a place. The comic code's like, nope, curse, nope.
Nope, too much.
This freak's terrorized you twice already. I don't know how he's brainwashed you into thinking he's not a killer, but you want to get away with it. Now I'm here. Brandy, I did not mean to bring violence down upon your home. I will depart. Rom, no, wait. Perhaps we can explain to them. Maybe together we can make them understand. Look, it's that killer robot. And in the patrol car of Clarendon County Police Chief Rogers. Well, Stryker, is that the creature you encountered last night at Lacerium? Yeah, that's the metal murderer, Chief. Good. That means Rom is the only Space Knight to have been spotted so far on Earth. We have feared there might be more. Well, what are you saying? You act as if you've known about Rom all along. Our military intelligence has been expecting him for some time, and they've kept it a secret? Top secret. We hope to avert a panic while we prepare for his arrival. Now, Rom, I warrant you will find us ready. After hooking the device he's removed from his glove compartment into the circuitry of his shortwave radio, Chief Rogers turns to his tense troops, and a faithful order is given. Even as Rom raises his hand in open palm, universal gesture of peace. You heard the chief. Take aim and shoot to kill. There is no need for anonymity between us humans. I come to aid you in this hour of dire danger. Fire! Whatever else Rom intended to say, it is a loss amidst the din of atomic weapon fire. Brandy, get back! Those bullets are ricocheting all over the place. Steve, no, let me go. Rom needs me. Rom! Brandy, being dragged off by the one she called Steve. Good. He shall remove her from the scale of senseless violence. If only her fellow humans would listen to me, as far as some harm comes to. Tempest, Brandy's dog. It's been caught in the line of fire. Its life runs out upon the grass. It is dead, an innocent victim of the Dire Wraiths' presence on Earth. I hoped that I would be able to end this war before Earth was ravaged as my beloved Galador was. But I did not start this war, nor bring it to Earth. And that happened by the designs of the Dire Wraiths. And I swear they shall pay for every innocent creature that perishes because of them. He is Rom, greatest of the Space Knights, and grief mingles with anger within him. Oh, man, poor dog.
You just had to do it. Murder the dog, didn't you?
Yeah.
You had to kill him.
You had to do it.
He's won glory in his centuries of old war against the Dire Wraiths in far-off space. It has cost him his word and his world and his humanity. He has power beyond words, beyond measure, but in exchange for power, he had to abandon a life of peace for the living deaths of existence within a biomechanical cyborg form. Rom hates what he has become, but he hates even more the creatures who made his transformation necessary.
I love that line. The living death of existence.
Yeah.
That is so good. That is so good.
Yep. And he will rest and not rest until the universe has been cleansed of the Dire Wraiths. Look out! He's chucking the whole blasted gazebo at us! And Braddock, and stop waltzing around with that robot. The normal weaponry won't harm him. Call up the special bazooka blaster I ordered you to bring along. Yes, Chief Rogers. Weird. How did Chief get the authorities to arm our local police force with a Star Wars type cannon?
Star Wars.
Beats me. It's got something to do with international security. I just hope the blast thing works. I've got the robot lined up in our sights, Captain. Then blow that alien to Kingdom Come, man. Now! Yeah. Like we did it. We heard him. Yeah, but he's rocking up from our next burst and coming back down right on top of the bazooka blaster. A race weapon. No human could conceive of a device so perfectly attuned to disrupt my circuitry. However, it shall do so no longer. Steve, let me go into Rom. They're hurting him. I hope they kill the gleaming monstrosity. Why is Brandy so concerned about him? Say, Steve, Brandy, thank God you're safe. But it's not the Clarks that need to worry just now. It is Rom. That robot demolished your fancy cannon, Rogers. Yeah, but it's weakened him so that he cannot fight off the effects of this. The siren of Chief Rogers' patrol car wails with an unearthly shriek, a shriek that pierced the equally unworthy ears of Rom the Space Knight. Gods of Galador, a ray sonic shatterer mounted upon the Earthian vehicle. The pain! Rom! Oh, somebody help him! Help him! Why does Brandy care if an alien monster lives or dies? Why? Brandy Clark knows that Rom is the only one standing between freedom and the domination of Earth by the diabolical Dire Wraiths. Must fight the pain, reach, siren. Rom's still coming. It is impossible. It is possible, Wraith. I am Rom. Your weapon was forged to defeat a foe you faced 2 centuries ago. Now we get a Superman reference.
Now we have that Superman.
But soaring the spaceways for 200 years has hardened me, Wraith, in ways you cannot even dream. I have heard the call of passing comets, phone through the music of the spheres. What is your sonic shadower compared to that? Yeah, he's lifting us right off the ground. I've got to get away. Warn the others. You will go nowhere, Wraith, unless it is to Limbo. I know you for what you are, despite your human disguise, and the energy analyzer shall prove it. Blinded by the light of Rom's energy analyzer, RG Striker and can only cover his and behind his manacled hand and scream, "No, I don't want to die without being able to fight back." However, the purpose of the analyzer's eerie glow is not to slay, but to reveal. The analyzer has shown me the truth, Wraith, and you shall never hide from me again. And faster than the eye can follow, Rom tears the rear door from the patrol car and unceremoniously dumps Archie Striker in the backyard lawn. Go, human. You have no place in this conflict. He's tossing me like I'm not even worth killing. Hey, Rom, stop. I'll do anything you say. I'll take you to the others. Just don't kill me, please. His harsh, metallic voice dripping with contempt. Rom and others just one word. Wraith, I strike in no bargains with your kind. I make no deals, nor shall I slay you. Murder is your game. Mine is the preservation of life, but I shall condemn you to a fate far worse than death. Banishment, Wraith, exile to an other dimensional netherworld where you can do no more harm. Thus I summon from subspace the neutralizer. Let its crackling whine be the last sound you hear before you join the rest of your carrion kind in Limbo. Merciful heavens, the robots murdered Police Chief Rogers. No. Yes, Brandy, and you saw it with your own eyes. Wraith and Rom, tell them it was a Dire Wraiths you killed, an alien impersonating Police Chief Rogers. Tell them. Rom starts to speak, then hesitates. Already his actions have brought unnecessary grief to the Earthwoman. He has chosen to befriend him. Who has chosen to befriend him? To believe in him. He will not cause her any further sorrow. His contact with Brandy must end here. A brief interlude in an unending war. War where he cannot afford neither friendship nor love. As he departs, he tells himself that it's better that it ends this way. Rom! Come back, Rom! The robot has done his murderous work, and now he's leaving. The best thing we can do is forget this nightmare. But for Archie Striker, there can be no forgetting. The robot killed 2 human beings, and I couldn't do anything to stop it. If it takes the rest of my worthless life, I swear I'm going to hunt down and destroy that alien called Rom.
Damn, talk about changing your life around. Now he's just going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go after Rob.
But again, this is such a good thing. This is a serialized format.
It is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of the comics were starting to be that way.
But this especially.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it goes back to the 60s. Again, not by design, but by them saying, wait, there's something here. Let's keep see where this goes.
Yeah, but what do you think, though, about how this is progressing with Rom? Again, it's just like, what else did you do?
Again, it's all playing out like a classic science fiction movie. Rom is very much a mixture between Buck Rogers and the robot from The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still, he's like, he doesn't want to cause harm, but still, you got the monsters, you got an inner war that nobody cares about, that he is aware of, I should say.
Now, what do you think about all the dialogue here? It actually feels it's wordy, but
it's wordy. But
the only thing is because it's still kind of that period where they have to explain every action they're doing and stuff. It's still kind of like shifting between that, so. It's a bit repetitive, but like it's everything else is so beautifully written. It's
it works. Yeah, it does work.
Yeah, it works.
No, it does work. And Mark, well, what do you mean with the recap or just the action of
well,
guys?
not just like the recap. They kind of like they say it like a couple of times already. It's like, this is the laser I used to banish people. Then later, this is the laser I used to banish people in the same issue. And it's like that's from like old comics, where they kind of had to repeat that, or like they explain the action that they're doing in great length, and it's kind of like, it was of the time,
Well, it's not that cheesy if you actually know how the superheroes basically act like cops or army men themselves in a lot of ways. So they're basically going to be like laser cannon, look out!
Now, to be fair, though, he is saying
now I've got you. You will be neutralized.
Now, to be fair, he is saying it's a different race, though. If he was saying it's the same race, then that would be different. But he is saying
true.
it's a different one.
Yes, that's true.
Right, the fact that they crammed so much. We're only on issue 3.
Yeah.
Hey, good grief, and we're only an hour in.
Yeah. I might only be 4 issues at this rate.
It is okay. We can pace ourselves.
Yep, fine.
It's fine.
Yep.
Yes, I'm having fun so far.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good story either way.
Yep.
But it is like, I think if people going into it just remember that, like, at least the older issues, it's of the time, but like it still gets its point across very, very well.
Yep.
Well, careful how you say of the time. Some people look at that as a bad thing.
Well, no, you can still, if you can just like be open-minded about it.
I can say this is some of the more believable bits of people thinking Rom. It's like, this is not J. Jonah Jameson. He's a menace. How do you think he's a menace?
Oh, no,
I just know he's a menace. No. This, you're like, everyone else is like, they think Brandy's nuts. Rightfully so.
Again, this is all like a science fiction movie. It all follows the steps, but does it in a way that makes you feel like, yeah, this would actually happen.
And again, Rom's actions make sense. They're a bit selfish, yeah, some of them.
Well, yeah, it's like he's a hero, but unfortunately, right now he's so stripped of his humanity. All he can think about is revenge.
Well, but even then, though, like the jealousy he's
I know, that's what I mean. He's also trying to develop his emotions back, but he's got that Marvel Comics inner conflict that plagues all the heroes, the Achilles heel, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely that Marvel style, and I love it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Images flicker across the screen, causing their audience to shudder in helpless horror. For although they are only shadows of reality, they represent the grim truth that is Rom, the Space Knight. Here you can see Rom decimating a National Guard unit outside of Clariton, West Virginia. Not a pretty sight. It's horrible. Flanked by two stern-faced policemen, hardened criminal Archie Stryker twists in his seat, unable to tear his eyes from the carnage being projected on the shimmering screen. Stop him! Why didn't they stop him? Her face impassive, psychologist Rachel Sweet notes Stryker's reaction to the sight of a gunmetal gleaming figure destroying the massed military might of the West Virginia National Guard. Nothing seemed to be able to penetrate the being's alien armor. Not tanks and not flames. And neither conventional weaponry nor human flesh can withstand the searing fires of the robot's unearthly ray. Thus, the film ends as the encounter did. Where'd they get all this?
The cameras in the trees, man.
The military wants to record it for posterity, just in case.
Yeah, but they didn't have drones back then.
Not for
the Marvel universe.
Not for drones. I'm sure there were cameras in the tanks or something.
With humankind and Rot and Rom triumphant. I think we've seen enough. No, Mr. S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, you haven't seen anything at all.
Wait a minute. That explains it. It's S.H.I.E.L.D. Of course they would have the footage.
You're right. And take it easy, Stryker. No, let him talk. That was the movie, and that was just a movie, lady. Pictures on a screen. It's like TV vibe. You can believe it, or switch the channel, but you can never understand it unless you were there like I was when Rom hurled that police chief's car into the air, whipped out his blaster, and fired. I felt the flames. I heard the chief scream. I've seen men die before, but never as horrible as that. Come on,
disagree, Barry. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, and why should you, a thug with a criminal record, as long as my arm, get upset over the murder of a cop? I may be a criminal, pal, but I ain't never killed anyone who didn't have much of a chance of killing me. Mr. Stryker was awarded the Silver Star for valor in Korea in 1953. That was war, lady! Men against men! But that inhuman monster took human life without so much as a blink of an eye! He's got to be stopped, I tell you! Stopped!
Jesus.
Exactly, Mr. Stryker. That's why we've had you brought here to Washington. The Project Safeguard. What General Sutherland is trying to say, son, is that we want you, and we want what you want. And how would you like to be the man to stop Rom, Archie Stryker? What is this? Some kind of joke? I'm a safecracker facing 5 to 12 in the slammer for armed robbery. By the time I get out, I'll be a senior citizen. What? 5 to 12?
How old is this guy?
Yeah.
He fought in Korea as well. Wait, he fought in Korea, and that was in 53. So he had been in their 20s or 30s. This is clearly by the 70s, so he's probably in his 40s.
Okay, I forgot people back then looked at the 40s as old.
Yeah.
Not senior citizen, but middle-aged.
But even by the time you get off, he'd be in his 60s or closer to 70s. So then he would think of him as a senior citizen by then.
Yeah.
He exaggerates.
Yeah.
A minor inconvenience, my boy. A word to the right people, and any charge against you can be dropped. Archie's a realist, and Carly's, he knows we're not going to just hand him his freedom without asking for something in return. True, but the beauty of it is that we aren't asking Stryker for anything. He doesn't already want himself. So let us help you help us, Archie, by giving you the power to destroy that alien murderer, Rom. Rom stands alone. It's cyborg. Again, do you guys like the narrating voice I'm doing?
Yeah.
It kind of works, doesn't it?
Yeah. I guess so. It would be like Stan would be like, I'm stepping aside. Let this narrator tell the story of Rom Spaceknight. It's so
because the dialogue does not fit Stan reading it. I'll say that.
No.
I mean, it fits Spider-Man, the Hulk, the Four,
Spider-Man, of course, yeah.
and the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, but it doesn't fit it here because it's this unknown thing from robot from space.
But going with the commercial narration kind of works.
I know it makes it sound more grandiose, like a space opera happening.
Yeah,
exactly.
It definitely has more of that feel, like the other Marvel characters, they have their dark stuff too, but it's a mixture with like excitement and thrills. Where this is just like, wow, this really is like hitting you hard.
Yep. This is why I like these old comics because they do hit you.
His cyborg armor, cooled by the night beneath the stars on a West Virginia hilltop near the site where he first landed on Earth days ago. The glowing sensor grid that are his eyes scan the darkness. The land sleeps, untroubled by his presence, unaffected by the conflict that follows his quest. Not all of the people in this land are unaffected by his arrival. The first woman to lay eyes on him nearly died when his sudden appearance caused her to lose control of her vehicle. Her name is Brandy Clark, and her reaction to the sight of his gleaming armored form set the pattern for future encounters with beings of her race. And I gotta say though, his thinking back does make a little sense. It's just a little too detailed on it.
Yeah.
Well, remember, he is a cyborg, so he probably has this all in his memory banks flashing before his eyes.
Yeah.
So it's a little excusable.
Yep. No, please don't come any closer. Don't hurt me. Communicating with Brandy via his translator, he was able to convince her that he meant no harm, but wished to help cleanse Earth of the real invaders, the Dire Wraiths. He thinks of beloved Galador, his homeworld, almost imperiled by race kind 2 centuries ago. The youth of Galador heeded the clarion call of battle, trooping in all their millions to the halls of science, there to give up their beloved humanity. The best of their numbers were separated out, technos and surgically grafted, men to metal, to living armor, forged into living weapons to safeguard the realm. What has happened to me? My hands, surgically grafted into the cyborg armor of which you are a part of. I feel power coursing through me, tremendous power, but my hands, and through sensors, my eyes I viewed my metal hands, all my senses were heightened, but I was no longer human. The Prime Director said there was no choice. The Spaceknights were needed. The race war fleet was rapidly approaching Galador. The race, and Rom summons his energy analyzer from subspace. Sending it on wide beam, he sweeps the surrounding countryside with his eerie light. Despite their ability to disguise themselves as living creatures, if the Dire Wraiths are hidden nearby, Rom will find them. Why didn't he do this before?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because a lot of crap was because he was caught and he kept having to deal with the army. That's why.
True. and then he
we wanted to get up close and personal. We wanted to see how the folks react. It's like, this isn't working.
that and again is blinding for revenge. I think he wasn't thinking clearly.
Yep. There in those far off hills, the analyzer reveals race activity on a massive scale. In an instant, all thoughts of its home and lost humanity are banished. The Wraiths threaten yet another world. He must face them, for he is Rom, greatest of the Spaceknights, and he is their sworn foe. But although Rom has come to aid Earth, people and to aid the people of Earth, those he have met feel only fear and uncertainty. Oh, Rom, why can't others believe in you, as I do? It's all so insane, like a nightmare. An alien lands on Earth and wages war on people I've known all my life, saying they're not human at all, but really some bizarrely disguised evil alien life form called Dire Wraiths. Ron tells me this, and heaven help me, I believe him. My parents, my boyfriend Steve, don't know what to think, and I can't blame them. Rom says that neutralizer merely dispatches the Dire Wraiths to an other dimensional limbo, but to our human eyes, it appears as if he's murdering our friends and neighbors. It's like a horror movie. Knowing the truth, and knowing the truth, being the only one who believes Rom, it's nearly driving me mad. But if I'm crazy, how do I know that Rom isn't a killer? And now there's a thought, Brandy, honey, that could really drive you over the edge. My door's open. Someone's inside my apartment. Miss Clark, we've been waiting quite some time for your return. Who are you? And what gives you the right to barge in here, to tear apart my apartment? This does, Miss Clark. Now, if you just come along quietly, we'd like to ask you some questions about Rom. The Maryland move casts shadows on the landscape. And furtively, one such shadow scans the clearing before him, then stealthily moves out, careful not to break the silence. Treads, and his tread is the tread of a cat burglar, until a harsh metallic wrath galvanizes him into motion. Silence is forgotten. All that counts now is speed. If the shadow is to avoid certain death. Mouth dry, heart pounding, he leaps, then dives beneath the barbed wire. Those bullets came too close for comfort, but now 2 obstacles have been cleared. Yet he remembers Korea. There he said, trouble always comes in threes. He dives, not stopping to think about it. Ours is not to reason why. Ours is but to do or die.
Great. We got Korean War veteran against Space Rambo.
Just like Rambo.
Yeah. Actually, now I want to see a show like that. Heck, I'd like to see
that was the sheriff in Rambo.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. God didn't make Rom. I made him.
A stinking automatic sniper. Gotta keep going. They said the last obstacle is that one ahead. The wall. They must have been kidding me. Scaling this as a breeze. A piece of cake. No, the wall wasn't the obstacle. It's the missiles. Gotta get them before they get me. Then burn myself in the mud before they explode. But they just exploded. An interesting display, Agent Crawler. A very interesting display, my dear sweet Dr. Sweet. Hey, I'm glad you're amused. You stinking. What's the matter, Stryker? Out of shape? Is our training too hard for you? Maybe you think fast reflexes are necessary in a battle with Rom. If you do, you're wrong. They could mean the difference between life or death. I'm sure Mr. Stryker understands that, Agent Crawler. Thanks for the support, Doc. Yeah, I understand you want me on my toes, but all the basic training in the world isn't going to stop Rom. What I need is an equalizer, some kind of hardware, like the armor Rom wears. That's why we have brought you to Maryland, Archie, the safeguard and our top secret training camp, the farm. You have scored highly on psychological and physical fitness tests, all of which is beyond the point. For you will need more than fast reflexes and a well-balanced frame of mind to guide the cyborg armor you see before you. You will need courage, determination, the desire to triumph. See how the armor glows. And so must your anger flare up, as brilliant as searing as the heart of the sun.
You take it back. This is turning into because he has Blizzard and the Crimson Armor and all those guys.
You want me to climb inside that tin suit? I can feel that he is giving off from here. Did you think we were playing games here, Stryker? If you hope to beat Rom, you'll need armor as good as his. That's what you wanted, isn't it, Archie? Yeah, then don't be afraid. Your reflexes, instincts, and physical prowess indicate you are the perfect choice. The only thing we cannot predict is how you will react psychologically to being linked to a suit of living armor. Well, there's only one way we're going to find out, Doc. I'm ready. Still, the night lingers over West Virginia. Rom rockets slowly over the low rolling hills, unerringly aided by his energy analyzer, driven by hatred for those whose its rays have detected. Rom's flight carries him close to the ground and beneath the earth itself. There is evil here, dire evil, race evil. He feels the subterranean chill clawing with icy fingers at his cyborg armor. The chill is evil and unnatural. The very depths of the earth have been corrupted. He sees the light in the darkness, cold light beckoning balefully. The light too has been corrupted. Its sensor organs are assailed by the strange sounds and foul odors. All that was natural has been twisted, perverted. All that was clean has been sullied. They have brought corruption upon the earth. They have wrought this evil. Rom's sensor eyes burn like twin coals. His cyborg heart cries for vengeance. They, the Dire Wraiths, the vast subterranean caverns teem with the Wraiths like some carrion bacteria. They live in the wounds they themselves have torn in the belly of their host. Their sinister science draws power from the molten core of the earth. Their evil is strong. It is almost tangible, yet they appear human, even to my cyborg eyes. I must again summon forth the energy analyzer. Let its ray reveal the truth. Humans or wraiths, I have sworn to have proof before I act. Oh, I forgot to read this. Their malefic sorcery sustains itself by draining the life of the planet. The analyzer's eerie glow bathes a tremendous cavern. Those below are instantly aware of it. They turn, gazing upward, and their forms are no longer human. All of them are Dire Wraiths. This is the greatest concentration of the foe I have yet seen on this planet, and they are constructing an interdimensional transporter. It can have but one purpose, to free their trapped brethren from that limbo to which I and the Spaceknights have banished them. Oh boy, look at some of the text there. Look at that. It looks like chopped, sliced, but as Rom observed, he himself is observed. By the Dark Nebula, it is Rom. We were warned he was on Earth. He must be stopped before he destroys our transporters. Wreckers of chaos, devils from the Dark Nebula, I am here to thwart your evil designs. And with my neutralizer, I shall dispatch all of you to join your cousins in shadowy Limbo. Rom's attacking! Sound the alarm! Defend yourself! Have you forgotten the war your kind waged against Galador? You should know that there is no defense against me. Nowhere to run from the Rom The Spaceknight. Caught by the neutralizer's ray, the insidious alien beings feel their human guise torn from them. They revert to their true shape and screaming fall headlong into Limbo. How desperately the remaining disguise race attempt to rally. Attack Rom! Slow him down! We must have time to notify Safeguard of our situation. I'll try! But we possess not our full power here. In human guise, with no weapons, we must fight as humans do. Without benefit of our race sorcery, we cannot hope to defeat Rom. True, Wraith. Perhaps the truest words your lying lips have ever spoken. And fitting epitaph for one bound for Limbo. No! This first convenience stood no chance of harming my cyborg form, and even crushed and broken, it can still serve my purpose, becoming a weapon to be hurled against the Dire Wraith transporter. As the heavy equipment mover strikes the massive dish of the Wraith interdimensional transporter, chaos erupts in the subterranean cavern. The transporter's demolished! Run! Flee before it causes a power surge and destroys us all! But the warning comes too late as the incredible, unworthy energy floods the cavern. Then, finding no exit, it sears upward to the very roof of the cavern. Conducting through the air, it crackles aimlessly out into the night, finally finding a focus, a transmission tower. The results are felt immediately throughout West Virginia. What's wrong with the TV? It looks like outside interference, Daddy. And static. Now how I find out if the girls are playing bridge tonight. So it goes. Eek! My new microwave oven! Meanwhile, fused by the eerie power surges, Steve Jackson races to the suburban home of John and Sarah Clark, parents of the lady he loves. Mrs. Clark, I tried to call, but oh, John, there it goes again. Easy, Sarah. It must be some sort of freak electrical storm. Storm? There's no lightning, not a cloud in the sky. Thank heaven, I was afraid for Brandy driving home alone and what? Brandy's not here? Learning that Brandy has left her parents' home to return to her own apartment in Clareton, Steve races for his car. That headstrong little idiot! I told her to stay here to settle her nerves after her encounter with Rom. But no, she's always got to play the independent woman. While this insanity is enough to set her seeing friendly aliens again. I've got to get to her. Christ, now the car's acting up. Ignoring the electrical shock coming from his ignition, Steve grits his teeth, burns his fingers turning the key, and fires and finally screeches off in the direction of Clareton. Soon, despite insanely flashing and directional signals and spurting streetlights, Steve's car pulls up in front of Brandy Clark's apartment building. An elevator was going nutty, had to race up 5 flights of stairs. Hey, why is Brandy's door open? Oh no! Meanwhile, in the subterranean stronghold of the Dire Wraiths, to Limbo with you, world wrecker, curse of the cosmos. No, Rom, please, give me death if you must, but not eternal banishment. At that moment, entering the cavern through the very tunnel which Rom used to enter, that scream like an animal in mortal pain, a lost soul. I've heard screams like that before. And each time it was because that filthy alien murderer Rom was killing another human being. There he is. Curse him, surrounded by the ashes of those who dare to stand against him. But this time he's going to face an Earthman who can more than match his power. This time his ashes will scatter in the wind.
Robot!
Oh, yeah. You're ready to rumble, baby!
Rock'em sock'em robots. Rock'em
I was
sock'em
thinking the same thing.
And Rom turned and is immediately engulfed in fierce, all-consuming flame. What new race trick? No, I recognize this flame. It is not of race or earthly origin. It is the living flame of Galador, perhaps the greatest of energy sources on my home planet. It inspired overwhelming fear in the Dire Wraiths as it drove them, screaming, back into the shadowy dark nebula. One of the greatest space knights wielded living fire, his armor blazing like the stars, his hands hurling firebrands against the foe. What vile blasphemy is this? The living fire is the symbol of the Space Knights. Its light sanctified our quest. But now the living fire's turned against me. It licks with fiery tongues at my cyborg armor. It sears my very soul. Yet the race possess neither the science nor sorcery to command the living fire, unless they hold the one suit of Space Knight armor forged to contain and control its fiery force. But Space Knight armor cannot be separated from the human being to which it is grafted, except by Galadorian science. The race could not have seized the armor without slaying the man. Turning, Rom beholds his attacker. The cyborg armor burns brightly with the red glow of the molten core of far-off Galador, and the world upon which it was forged. Vainly, Rom seeks to penetrate the armor's crimson visor, searching for a glint of recognition from the sensor eyes behind.
Look at that image. That's like a yellow devil from hell.
It is.
It's so cool.
Rom finally unable to bear the mystery any longer. Rom gives a soul-wrenching cry. Karis, is that you? But the voice that answers from within the fiery armor rings with hate, not with the familiar tone Rom had hoped to hear. The name's Archie Striker, Rom, but you can call me Firefall! Ooh, look at that!
Wait,
that is great.
Scroll up. The fire, the fiend, the foe.
No, the friend and the foe.
The glimpses of subterfuge. But yeah, I love the when Marvel did those pin-up pages. Like if you had the old comic, you can wrap it up.
That really is something out of like a 50s poster. It's so cool.
Yes, it is. Here is Firefall. I gotta do it like that, in a world.
There, I said it. You happy?
Oh yeah, from Phineas and Ferb.
Yep.
Do for sure. It's evil is God. Rom the Space Knight. Rom the Space Knight.
Okay, locked in Mortal Kombat. 2 armored forms crack. Wait a minute. Yeah, we're only up to issue 4. I think we're just going up to 5 issue. I think 5 will be better.
All right.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, it's up to you guys.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What
It
do you
seems like we do half an hour each issue.
Yeah, we do.
We do,
Yes,
because
we
you
do.
read the whole darn thing.
Well, yeah, because it's worth reading.
I'm not denying that.
Locked in Mortal Kombat. 2 armored
Mortal
forms.
Kombat!
I crashed upward out of the subterranean mine shaft into the cool West Virginia night. One is Rom, the greatest of the Space Knights, who has come to cleanse Earth of the evil and Dire Wraiths, shape-changing beings who once menaced his homeworld, Galador. The other, also wearing Galadorian armor, is Earth criminal Archie Striker, an unwitting pawn of the Dire Wraiths. But because he wears the armor of Firefall, he wields the living flame, and so he is a most powerful pawn indeed.
I would have loved to see this animated. This would have been so cool.
I want this whole thing turned into a show.
Fry, Rom! You've had a field day killing human beings since you arrived on Earth. How does it feel to be on the receiving end for a change? And shocked at finding an Earthman in the armor of a Space Knight, Rom is caught off guard. Ha! This Tinsu goes and does everything the government people at Project Safeguard said it would. Rom's reeling in pain. Another minute, and I'll bring that murderer alien to his knees. Gah! No, it is you and your masters who shall be brought down, Earthling. I have held back from fighting you thus far out of reverence for the armor you wear, and because I am pledged never to harm innocent life form. But although you are only a dupe of the Dire Wraiths, you are dangerous. Surrender, lest it go hard with you and later. You're aiming your neutralizer, the death ray you turned a human of my host of my humans, my fellow humans, to ashes with. Well, you don't scare me, Rom. Project Safeguard army with the power of Firefall, and it's a power I intend to use to send you straight to hell. Whoever dons the armor of Firefall becomes master of the living flame, Galador's most powerful energy source. The armor could only have been grafted to a human by the work of the Dire Wraiths, and that must mean that my comrade, the original Firefall, is dead. And you neutralized you neutralized my fireball before it could touch you. You're good, Rom, but I'm better, and I'm fighting to save my world and the people on it from your murderous attacks. I'm gonna keep coming, Rom. Nothing you can do can stop me. All I have to do is hit you hard enough, often enough, and the heat of my armor will melt that silver suit you're wearing. The Earthling may be correct. Every contact with Firefall's blazing armor is wreaking havoc on my cyborg circuitry. I must convince the human that I am no murderer, or I must defeat myself, even if it means violating my sworn oath never to kill.
Conflict.
Thus, the airborne battle rages. While on a West Virginia highway, far below, a confused Brandy Clark asks, "Who are you? Where are you taking me? Say something. Why did you government agents sprite me away from my apartment in the dead of night without an explanation? What have I done? Am I under arrest or what?" This has to do something with Rom, doesn't it? With the fact that I'm the only human who's conversed with him? The grim-faced federal agents make no sound. So a flash of brilliance from the heavens above caused the driver to break in surprise. By the dark nebula, a flash of living fire! Agent 7, the Project Safeguard. We have the girl and we are proceeding according to plan, but have encountered an atmospheric disturbance. Yes, we believe it to be Rom combating Firefall. Oh, wait a minute. I've never seen a communicator like that before. You're not with the government at all. You're Dire Wraiths and you're kidnapping me to strike at Rom. Look out. She's grabbing the wheel. Earthling witch. I know. Do you want to kill us all? Get your hands off the steering wheel. I know you for what you are. Alien invaders who want to enslave Earth and the universe. But Rom won't let you. Perhaps not, but the Galadorian mission will be greatly hindered if the Earth woman for whom he so carelessly demonstrated concern were to be held a hostage in our hands. Breathe deep, Brandy Clark. It's only chloroform. The Earth woman is unconscious. Let us proceed. But yes, the others are eagerly awaiting her arrival at Project Safeguard. But unbeknownst to the race driver, another vehicle is diligently pursuing them. A car driven by Steve Jackson, a young man who, despite all the frustration her independent attitude caused him, is still deeply in love with Brandy Clark. 2 minutes ago, a minute ago, the car Brandy was in, and Brandy's in was steering crazily, and now it's under control again. But where are they taking her, and why? At the same time, in the hills beyond, the Earthlings' attacks relentless, blatantly blaming me for what he views as my murder of his fellow humans, when in reality, my neutralizer merely banished and Dire Wraiths disguised as humans to leave Limbo. Ha! This shot ought to bring you down to Earth. The living fire has all but paralyzed my circuits. I'm falling like a fiery comet. Rom plows in crater into the Earth. Stunned by the impact, it takes Rom several seconds to realize he's landed near the mouth of the same mineshaft where earlier he destroyed our Dire Wraiths transmission base. Look,
see last Rom. The editor's note. See last issue.
Yep. Look, Rom is weakened from his fight with Firefall. Then perhaps now, before he recovers, we can repay him for our shameful defeat by exacting vengeance from him. While my internal circuitry stabilizes itself, I have come under attack by more Dire Wraiths. Since they have announced what they are, I have no need to expose them with my energy analyzer. My neutralizer is all that I need. Yeah!
All that is necessary, you mean?
All that is necessary.
Careful, Robbie. We're reading too fast again.
I'm falling, hurled to a dimensional portal by Rom's neutralizer. The Dire Wraiths lose control over their shape-shifting powers and regain their true shadowy form in the instant that they are banished to oblivion. Yet Archie Stryker, in the armor of Firefall, stands horrified, for his still human eyes are not able to see the race transformation. Oh, I was hoping I would help convince them.
Nope.
Yeah.
Filthy, filthy, dirty, murdering alien monster! To him, it appears that human beings have died in flaming agony, just as it did the first time when Archie and his gang broke into the Lansing Laser Work Corporation. I thought it was Laserium. Rob the state.
Not the narrator. But the narrator doesn't. Whatever.
Only to be stationed.
Simplify, man.
Anyway, there's an omnipotent narrator, just to make it clear.
Yeah.
Only to be stopped by
like I told you, well, narrators are omnipotent. I know everything.
Rom had grabbed Laser Works and corpse a frightened manager and blasted him with his neutralizer as Archie stood helplessly by, listening to the manager's soul-numbing shriek and watching as his body crumbled to ash. The police
now
found
that's
Archie.
The face of a man who is who was traumatized for life.
Yep.
The police found Archie afterwards, and after listening to his story and receiving orders from the government, had conducted him into Washington's Project Safeguard. I'll do anything to stop that murderer, Rom. Anything! Hey, we believe you, Mr. Stryker, and we're going to prove it by giving you the chance to fight Rom with power equal to his, if you weren't willing to wear this armor. Archie Stryker was eager to agree, and awakening later from a drug-induced sleep, he found he possessed more power than he ever dreamed of, the power of Firefall. And I'm as tough as you are now, Rom, and I'm going to make you pay for all the people you've murdered. You are mistaken, Earthling. I have slain no one. Liar! I saw you cut people down with my own eyes, heard them scream until I wanted to stop up my ears. What you saw was my neutralizer banishing Dire Wraiths, the shadowy Limbo, fiery one. And though I know not what that same neutralizer is capable of doing to humans, or to one wearing the holy armor of a fellow Space Knight, I shall soon learn. I felt that even through my protective armor. Not through your armor, human. You felt the pain from my neutralizer blast with your armor. Do you not yet understand what has happened to you? I told you you were a pawn, a dupe of the Dire Wraiths. It was they who gave you the armor of Firefall. But one does not wear Space Knight armor. One merges with it. You have been biologically grafted into that armor, human. Each action you take reinforces the neural links between you and it. The Wraiths have given you power beyond your wildest dream. But in doing so, they robbed you of your humanity, making you exactly like me. No, I'm a human being. I'm not like you. I can't be. And soon the difference between us will be even greater because I'll be alive and you're going to be dead. I don't want to break my oath and take the life of this human, but he attacks me without mercy. Unless I defend myself, I will be consumed by living fire. Meanwhile, a short distance away, I turned off my headlights so the people who got Brandy won't know I'm following them. I've got to find out if she's all right. Stepping on the gas, Steve Jackson steers his car alongside the speeding limo. And one glance at the front seat of the other vehicle confirms his worst fears. And Brandy, what do you creeps think you're doing with my girl? The race driver's only response. They're pulling ahead.
Car chase.
The human is following, and that's too bad for him. They're firing some kind of heat ray at me. That's the worst weapon, and that means whoever kidnapped Brady isn't from Earth. Brandy said Rom had come to fight the Earth to fight aliens called Dire Wraiths. The enemy is here, a menace to us all, and by not believing Rom, I unwittingly helped them.
Whoops.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's common sense. Common sense.
That's it. Now okay, I saw it with my own eyes. I believe you. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, hang on, babe. I'm coming for you.
The airflow is still coming. He avoided my heat blast. And fire again, Race Brother. You know what our masters do to those who fail. Our sorcerer powers must ever be bought with the sacrifice of living souls. Oh, shuddering, the race draws a bead on Steve's pursuing car, turning his back on his seemingly unconscious captive. I recognized the odor of chloroform from my job at the science lab and held my breath, so I only inhaled enough to make me faint believably. Is that possible?
Can you do that?
I hope to try and escape when we stop, but I gotta act now. I can't let these monsters hurt Steve. Yet, even as Brandy formulates a plan to save Steve and herself, Rom fights for his own cyborg life. My cyborg circuitry is repaired. My armor is finally under my control again. My cooling units have lowered my external temperatures to the sub-zero cold of space. Cold that overwhelms the living fire, which makes it sluggish, malleable, allowing me to hurl it back at its fiery master. Yep.
Hey, Johnny, let's see you try that one.
Giving me a moment wherein I may fire my rocket pods and carry this battle to the skies. Flee, Rom! But no matter where you run, I'll find you and slay you without mercy. For I am Firefall, wielder of the living fire, your judge, jury, and executioner. At that moment, a change comes over Archie Stryker. A change detected by the sensor circuit within Rom's cyborg armor. Formidable fool. You are joined with the Firefall armor now. Your last outburst and completed the neuro linkage. You can never be human again. What are you trying to pull? I'm as human as I've ever been, only more powerful. Yes, you possess vast power, human. Power stolen from one far more deserving of it than you. Stolen by an alien race that would long since have enslaved the galaxy. Had not space knights like Firefall and I been created to stop them. You hurt me. I felt you strike my armor. By the dark nebula, something struck the road. I can't see and glare so intense. Keep driving. Keep the wheel steady. I've got that fool following us dead in my sight. Steve, no. Gotta act now. Maybe my only chance. Filthy alien murderer. The Earth Witch was only feigning unconsciousness. Dire Wraiths' words are lost, and he hits the blacktop. Stunned, he struggled dazedly to rise, even as Steve Jackson's car bears down on him. Someone in the road! I'm going too fast to stop! And yet the car is still in one piece.
Well, if you go fast enough, it's not going to work.
It should still damage the car.
Yeah, it saves them on the insurance.
Meanwhile,
that's a nice car.
Limousine ahead. Are you mad, woman? Release the wheel before you kill us both. No, not until I've stopped you. I've got to stop you. Brandy, and I know the car's overturned. If anything's happened to her, Brandy, honey, thank heaven you're all right. But the driver, he broke his neck when we crashed.
Yeah.
We'll call the police. Brandy, look, the driver, he's changing. The Wraith's true form is dimly perceived as it transforms from its human guise, and then it is gone, crumbled to foul-smelling dust that is the only trace of its passing. On second thought, maybe we won't call the police. Now, do you believe me, Steve? There are Dire Wraiths on Earth disguised as human beings. Yeah, honey, Ron was right. I just hope he survives long enough for me to say so to his face. You who are now Firefall, hear me. Before you don that crimson space knight armor, it was worn by another, a gentle Galadorian youth named Kareth. He was my friend. And Rom, be wary! The current is swift! Save your breath for swimming, Karis. Cramp! I cannot stay afloat. Rom! Karis, you saved my life, and you saved my life. As you would have saved mine had our situations been reversed, Rom. That is what friends are for. On Galador.
Yeah.
Yep. On Galador.
Son of a bitch.
Now, Karis, you son of a bitch.
I don't owe one's life to another is a sacred responsibility linking two individuals as surely as marriage links lovers. Then came the war. Karen, and then you too have been chosen amongst the million who volunteer to safeguard Galador the Space Knight. Yes, Rom, you are to possess indomitable strength and the weapon of banishment. I am to wield the living flame of Firefall. Together, Karas and I underwent the change from human to cyborg. Together, we manned the front lines, awaiting the foe. But at first glimpse of the oncoming Wraith fleet, Karas broke ranks and attacked alone. Karas, no, come back for the glory of Galador, Rom. First blood will be mine. Then the Wraith fleet was upon us. Space Knights fell all around me. Yet in the end, we prevailed and drove the Dire Wraiths from our sector of the cosmos. But when the battle ended, though I searched long and hard, I never set eyes on Karas or the Firefall armor again. Until now. A touching story, alien. Really touching. But I don't believe a stinking word of it, because a monster like you can't have any friend or true feelings. You lie.
Ooh,
Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have said that.
Well, you should not have done that.
I love Karas like a brother human. I knew he would never have surrendered the Firefall armor unless death had claimed him. I'm hurling enough heat at you to melt steel, but you're still coming. Brandy, get down. Oh, Steve, what if Rom should fail? Pray that he doesn't, honey, for all our sakes. Do you realize and feel the pain, human? Do your senses scream as I strike time and again at your armor, which you thought was only lifeless metal? Yes, you've hurt me. I feel pain all over me. Oh no, I feel pain all over the armor that sheathes my body. That is my body. It's true. I've become just like you. No, human, not like me. You have merely discovered that I spoke the truth. You are forever grafted to the Firefall armor. But unless you turn from those you serve and seek instead to save humanity from the dreadful Dire Wraiths, you will be anything like Rom.
Oh, savage.
So perhaps even I am no longer what I was. It is the prime directive of all Galadorians to value life in all its myriad forms. Yet today, I have nearly slain a human who knew not what he did. But he would have killed you, Rom. You defeated a foe sent at you by the Dire Wraiths, a foe as powerful as you are. Yes, I defeated he who called himself Firefall, but the true victory came when I conquered his own desire to slay the human, and my own desire to slay the human. For had he died by my hands, then I would have become the murdering monster he believed me to be. No better than the Dire Wraiths who made him. Such is the danger of my quest, that in fighting evil, I will be corrupted by it. On that day, my goal of peace will be vanished like a dream, and my soul will submit to the savagery of war. The armor, it won't come off. I can't get it off.
This is reminding me of Mega Man. When you look back at the story.
Oh, and look who's gonna have a special appearance.
Whoa, where? What?
Doctor Strange.
Hey, Mister of the Magic Arts.
Arts. Sorry.
It's wrong doctor. Besides, it was half Doc Ock too. Eat my ass.
Okay. On a shattered stretch of highway somewhere due south of Clairton, West Virginia, I fan out and searched the woods along both sides of the road. I don't know if I want to find whatever it was that tore up the road. Looked like a meteor fall to me. I never heard of no meteorite leaving footprints. In the shadows, Randy Clark and Steve Jackson cower behind the gunmetal gleaming figure of Rom, a being that they know came from another world. He has revealed to them that things are not what they seem, and that even their closest friends may be alien in disguise. Steve, I'm scared. I'm scared. Me too, honey. Me too. By the way, I just read other eyes in book course, G.I. Joe and Transformers and Conan.
Oh yeah, there were Conan books in the 70s and 80s.
Conan, and they lasted through the 90s.
True, but
Oh, wow.
Roy Thomas worked on that for like a decade, and it's some of his best work from what I heard.
Funny enough, though, he wasn't a fan and didn't know much about Conan until he got the gig.
Yeah, clearly, and yet he's looked at as the best writer for a lot of reasons.
It might be another one down the road, Rob.
Yeah, sure.
No, I don't. I have not read those.
Oh, okay.
If you do, try to find the right reprint. Some of them looked a little too glossy and looked destroyed the original line art.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
All right, continue.
Yep, just a sec. And they believe him for the horror they have seen this night have proven that Rom spoke the truth when he proclaimed that he had come to Earth to hunt the dreaded Dire Wraiths. Some of the Earthlings who search for me may really be my sworn enemies, the Dire Wraiths. I would summon my energy analyzer from subspace, turn its glow on them, and strip them of their human disguises. But I cannot do that without revealing my presence here and endangering my companions. It's all right, Brandy. Rom won't let anything happen to us. Oh, Steve, thank heavens you finally trust Rom as I do. Rom is aware of Brandy Clark's faith in him, as he is aware of her fear. He is aware of something else, too. Emotion that awakens memories 2 centuries on. Memories of the raven hair Reyna, a woman of his homeworld, Galador, the woman Rom loved. Rom, they say you were the first to volunteer to combat the Dire Wraiths. Galador is in danger, Reyna. The world that has been our home and our happiness may perish. You don't answer. Is it true? Will you forsake your humanity and become a space knight? How can I turn my back on Galador in her time of peril? Only the young can wield the power that could repel the foe. But millions volunteered, and I was among the thousands chosen as compatible with the cyborg armor of the Space Knights. You speak as if you were proud of it, glad to be sacrificing your humanness to become heart and soul, part of some lifeless, unfeeling machine. I am not proud, Reyna. I am terrified of what lies before me. But the Prime Director says that only through such sacrifice can Galador be saved. And what of us, Rom? Is this the end of our love? No, my darling. Even if this war lasts for thousands of years and spans the endless void of space, I promise you, our love will never die. Never. And meanwhile, back on the shattered roadway, this is incredible. When we got the emergency call, I expected to find a routine traffic accident, but instead, everything's charged and the surface of the road is melted. And careful, wrap your jacket around your hand before you touch this guy. His armor is red hot. The jacket shouldn't do any good.
Nope. Especially heat that strong. Okay.
I'll need a crane to lift him. He must weigh a ton. Well, at least try and turn him over. I want to see who's inside it. It's Archie Stryker. We've got half a dozen warrants out him for his arrest. Afraid Mr. Stryker, that armor he's wearing will be turned over to us, officer. Who? From the government. Like, all right, Agent and Carleys. Hey, tell your men to keep the state police away from the body. Yes, sir, Agent and Kraler. And S.H.I.E.L.D. is on this too. And S.H.I.E.L.D. is on this too. You heard the man, officer. Move back.
Supreme Headquarters International Espionage Law Enforcement Division. I keep forgetting what S.H.I.E.L.D. stands for.
But they've changed it. They've changed it.
No, at least Darkwing Duck keeps such a secret. Even they don't know what it is.
Yep, confused but obedient. The state police heed the federal agent's command and keep their distance. You were too harsh with the local authorities, Kraler. They're becoming suspicious. The human suspicions are of no interest to me. And our presence on Earth is still a secret, fool. Now attach the anti-grav disc to Firefall's armor, and we'll levitate our human pawn to the vehicle that will convey him back to our base at the farm. Holy smoke, they're floating Stryker away! Your scientific display has dismayed the humans far more than my attitude, Sister Sweet. It was necessary to get Firefall away from their suspicious eyes as quickly as possible. Brother Kraler, the van is ready for him. You two secure the human. I must see to the remain of our people. The sight that meets Dr. Rachel Sweet's eyes is not a pretty one. The 2 heaps of ash that were once fellow Dire Wraiths don't seem to upset her in the least. The fools! Their assignment was so simple. Kidnap Brandy Clark and bring her the Project Safeguard. They have paid the price for their failures. Wait, Captain, move your men back. We're cording off this area. Oh, this area! Whoops!
Yeah.
Typo!
Oopsies.
Wait, what? This Ari? Oh, what the heck?
Area for the reason of national security. National security, but the less you see, the better it will be for you. Meanwhile, watching from the woods, Dire Wraiths, their cruelty betrays them, despite their human guise. But I dare not reveal my presence to them, lest the humans in my protection come to harm. But in spite of Rom's decision to remain hidden, the dog sent the enemy's sister. Rom is here! Back, stand aside! The dogs will seek out the foe! Dogs? What kind of bloodhounds are those without eyes?
I didn't notice that.
yeah, right here.
Holy crap, they're gargoyle bulldogs.
Yeah.
They are called hellhounds of the Black Nebula, telepathic trackers bred by the Dire Wraiths. There is no hiding from them. Steve, Brandy, we must depart. But the Wraiths, the hellhounds have alerted them to my presence. Alone, I would turn and fight them. But for your sakes, we must flee at once. Rocket pods on his back, and the rocket on his back firing. Rom lifts off with his double burden, and the sightless dogs immediately sound the alarm. Rom with the 2 humans! Bring him down! The alien that attacked Clariton, getting away. But what kind of weapons are you firing at? Special government issued. And ray gun, the same as those phony government agents fired at me. They are race weapons set to slay. But why don't the police help us? Can't they see what's happening? What the police see is a matter of interpretation. What the police see is a matter of interpretation. And that alien is carrying off 2 townspeople. That's John Clark's daughter, Brandy, and Steve Jackson's with her. And for Pete's sake, tell your men to stop firing before they hit those 2 kids. I told you before, Captain, this is a matter for the government security agencies to handle. Local law enforcement has no say in how to deal with Rom. And now I suggest you and your men forget all you saw and heard here tonight. Forget! Alien lands on Earth, and Captain, we just got word to return to HQ. The chief says no report necessary. In the interior of the government van. Why do you insist on provoking the humans, Krayler? Because manipulating such a lesser species amuses me, sweet. Their pain and confusion is so absurd. Take that pitiful specimen there, Archie Stryker. Imagine his horror when he awakes to discover that the Firefall armor was grafted directly to his nervous system, and he can never remove it. No, that's exactly what Ron warned me about. He was right. I've been used, tricked by beings from outer space, turned into a metal monster by the Dire Wraiths.
Again, that's a face that is...
he's all mortified.
And he's in even deeper trouble now.
Ignoring the puzzle policemen, the fraudulent government agents depart. But although they've been ordered to forget all they've seen, some of these people will remember. And something about all that strike you as odd? Those government boys are pretty arrogant, if you ask me, Captain. Tell us to ignore what we saw tonight. It's like telling Congress to ignore Watergate. Watergate? Funny. Watergate? Funny. I was thinking of cover-ups, too.
I thought I told you. I am not a cook.
Topical.
Well, back then it was.
Well, back then, it was still fresh in everyone's minds, even in the 80s. He was not framed, like in Family Ties. He was a crook.
If Rom could hear the officer's words, his cyborg heart would be gladdened. For it is those humans who have begun to ask questions who are most likely to heed his warning about the Dire Wraiths. But Rom is too far away to hear. The soaring Spaceknight gently bears his double burden high over West Virginia Hills. We're flying! And Rom carries us as if we were 2 children. And I feel like a child in his arms. Safe, secure. He's so strong and he sounds so noble. I wonder what the man who accepted imprisonment within this lifeless armor was like. As Brandy tentative touch, feelings again awaken in Rom. Emotions he held in check for 2 long centuries. But he resists them.
No.
For he knows that in wartime, emotions are a weakness that can be easily exploited by the enemy. The Dire Wraiths are deadliest enemy of them all. His scan sensor eyes have already seen the house. Why are we landing? This isn't Clareton. No, the Dire Wraiths have already struck at Brandy in her hometown. They will be waiting for her to return there. Yet you humans must have rest, and I sense that the dwelling is unoccupied. I don't care as long as it's dry. I've got to shake off the chill I got hiding in those woods. I can see why. It's almost as run down as my garage. Oh, that is that. I don't care. And the door is closed. Should I knock to make sure? Must have been the wind. Rom's glowing eyes scan the interior of the house. Oh, hold on.
Nope.
Damn, that it? Man, that was the shortest book.
Wow, well, what a cliffhanger.
And aware of the wariness of his human companions, he makes a decision. The house is uninhabited. You will rest here. Oh, Steve, a fireplace. No firewood, though. And the smoke would be sure to attract attention. We can have light if we block the windows. Funny. And then there's oil in the lamp, but from the dust, I'd say this place hasn't been used in years. I don't need light. Just sleep. So tired. I haven't been in the bed since the morning after Rom's arrival. It's been hard on you, hasn't it, honey? If only I believed you. About Rom, I mean. From the start. We could have shared things. But you believe now, Steve. It's so heavy. Just hold me. Let's sleep. Rom will watch over us. Brandy's eyes closed, followed soon after by Steve's. The lovers sleep. But Rom's sleep is only a memory from his former existence. His cyborg circuitry has no need of restful oblivion. Yet he has experienced much that is new, strange and different since arriving on Earth. And for absorption and analysis of all the data he has accumulated, it is best that he clear his circuits and monitors his memory banks. Mist curls about him. His introspective analysis mode is not unlike that state we humans call dreams. In his dreams, Rom observes a being he knows he has never seen before. He senses the being's power. The human enters the house.
Hey, Doctor Strange.
Yay!
The house reacts to his presence with sudden malevolence. The caped human merely watches as inanimate objects come eerily to life. As sinister strands of serpentine smoke seek to bind him. It is then that the human spoke. Dwellers in the shadow, hear me. I know your secret. Secret? What secret? What did the human mean? Rom's circuitry hums to life. Even as the cyborg Spaceknight realizes his danger, the mist becomes solid and staring my leg. And if I'm menaced, how much greater peril is the peril facing my human companions? Peril? Great indeed. The house has come alive. The vision I saw in my rest mode was a premonition, a warning that there is evil here. Magic as black and vile as the sorcery of the Dire Wraiths. With one blow, Rom shatters his mystical binding. Our real enemy remains hidden, striking at us through the house itself. I must expose them. But first, I must ensure the safety of the human, Brandy and Steve. Summoned from subspace. Rom's neutralizer appears at hand.
Oh.
The disembodied hand withdraws into the wall. Yet despite the agonizing scream caused by the neutralizer's rays, the humans dream on. Dream on! Sorry.
Dream on.
A mist. Perhaps they contain some element that forces Brandy and Steve to sleep. I must wake them, bear them to safety before the armored alien can act. Hurled across the room by an unseen hand. The common wooden table slams the stunned Spaceknight to the floor, and the swirling mist conspire to keep him there. With unnatural force, and the swirling mist conspire to keep him there. Must rise. Helplessly, he watches as those he has sworn to protect are levitated away from him. The humans, the house wants the humans. In bringing them here, I have exposed them to deadly danger. On my oath as a space knight, I will not let them come to harm. Rom reaches up and grasps his companion, and at his touch, Brandy and Steve awake. Feels so strange. Were we asleep? Yes, Brandy, but it was no natural slumber. This house is alive, imbued with an evil alien intelligence, yet nothing that lives can hide from my energy analyzer. bathed in the analyzer's eerie glow. The true nature of the ancient house is starkly revealed. There, an unearthly face glaring back at us from the very walls. I would communicate with it, and the translator, and thus I summoned from subspace my translator. You have exposed me, man of metal. Such a thing has not happened since the coming of he who banished me from Earth. He who calls himself strange. Return to the shadow world from whence you came. Back in Strange Tales 120, using old issues.
Continuity.
Oh.
My slumber and world and bordered on a realm you would call Limbo. In attempting to liberate their banished comrades from that realm, the race called Dire Wraiths accidentally freed me. They did not have long to regret their mistake. I shall never willingly return to that cold Shadowland again. Unite me, men of another world, and together we will rule over both human and race kind. No, dweller in shadows, though you slew my foes, the Dire Wraiths, you would also slay these humans I have sworn to safeguard if I gave you the chance. From the Shadowland you come, and to shadows you must return. Fool, the sorcerer who banished me wielded great mystical power. He called forth the vaunted vapors of Vishanti to drive me from this realm. You possess no such magic? True, I have seen visions of the power of this Doctor Strange. Then how can you even dream of driving me into exile, Space Knight? Rom and Brandy, get back! Especially when I can call forth the eldritch flames to fry you where you stand. I am no sorcerer dweller, but the elders of my world saw fit to arm me with Galador's greatest weapon, the neutralizer, a weapon which can shatter and which can sear with seething flame. Thus I answer fire with fire. No!
Yes.
The house, it's burning, screaming. It is no house, Brandy, only an alien being in the shape of a house, a being that's corrupt and evil, with no goodness within it. Thus I call forth the neutralizer again. No, spare me, I beg you. What does the human race matter to such as we? Join with me, Space Knight, join! Begone, creature of the soulless night. Vanish as the rays of my neutralizer banish you to whatever realm of shadow spawns your kind. The dwellers in shadows scream, and when the screaming stops, it's gone, as if it never existed. The dweller in shadows was no demon of tormented dreams. It was as real as the peril it posed for the human race. Then Earth has no more to worry about than dangers from the Dire Wraiths. Yes, Brandy, many malevolent forces threaten mankind. Great, like we need it anymore. Okay, I can fit in one more issue. I can fit one more. Without his neutralizer, Rom is helpless. Hellhounds of the Black Nebula. Dog day afternoon.
Hellhounds, I get it.
I had to sneak into town before sun to get my van. Come on, Rom. And Brandy says the coast is clear. Hurry! After a night spent escaping from Dire Wraiths disguised as government agents, a murderous space knight called Firefall, and a house that was alive, I feel as if there are inhuman eyes watching our every move, especially here in Claritin. Dawn, day breaks so beautifully on your world. Rom, please hurry. We got to get you undercover. Yeah, making it easier for those eyes and Brandy was talking about to see you. I hide from the Dire Wraiths. Why? I have battled them for 2 centuries and never fled from their treachery. Rom, we know you can take care of yourself. It's us that we're worried about. The Wraiths have already made one attempt to kidnap me, and it would have succeeded if Steve hadn't stopped them. We're scared, Rom. Tired. This is all so new to us. So strange. Your arrival, the discovery that people we've known all of our lives may be Dire Wraiths in disguise, and the killing. There has been no killing, Brandy Clark. Oh, I know. You've explained that your neutralizer merely banishes your enemy to some utter dimensional limbo. But to human eyes, it looks as if you're killing human beings. Hey, breakfast, anyone? The diner up the road just opened, and I bought us some sandwiches and coffee. I don't know about you, but being scared makes me ravenous. There's some for you too, Rom. You do eat, don't you? I did eat once, Steve Jackson, when I was fully human and enjoyed human pleasures. Even now, the sensors built into my armor tantalize me with the odors of the food. But no, I do not eat as you do. There are other more efficient ways to replenish my circuit's energy supply. More efficient, but far less satisfying. You mean you drew power? You mean you drew power right from the light socket? Wow, my electric bill is going to be enormous if you're planning on staying for a while. Humans must pay for the power they need to live. It was not so on my world. This isn't Galador, Ron. On Earth, nothing's free. I can't believe it. This has been the most insane weekend of my life. Yet I still have to report the work in 2 hours, or I don't get paid. That's okay, honey. I'll drive you over to the lab on time. What about you, Rom? You think you'll be all right here by yourself? But the Silver Space Knight makes no reply. If I didn't know better, I'd swear our Galadorian guardian an angel was asleep. He's in his rest mode, Steve. His armor is monitoring and repairing itself. So I wonder if he dreamed.
Do Space Knights dream of electric sheep?
Yeah.
If the misinsured memories that flood the cyborg and the silent cyborg circuitry are the stuff of which dreams are made, then yes, Rom can be said to dream. But what is the use of dreaming? Ray, nah. And Steve, wait, did you hear him just say something? Come on, honey. First, you try to convince yourself our alien friend's capable of dreaming, and now you hear him talking in his sleep? No matter what,
secrets that you keep,
no matter what he once was, Brandy, you can't graft a man to a suit of metal and send him off into space for 200 years and still expect him to remain human. Whatever Rom thinks and feels has got to be as alien to us as our thoughts must be to him. I suppose you're right. You know I am. That's Artie Packer's patrol car. I hope he doesn't suspect anything about Rom, I mean. Morning, Steve. Brandy, everything all right here? Sure, Artie. What could be wrong? Well, some funny things went on outside of town last night. Things I've been ordered not to talk about. But me and you have been friends since grade school, Steve. If I told you I'd seen a man inside a flaming metal suit and weird dogs no eyes, what would you say? I might ask you what you've been drinking lately, Art. And not a thing, kid. I'm dry as a bone. Only now I wish I wasn't. Artie must have been out on the highway last night when they found Firefall. And then the Wraiths showed up with those mutated tracking dogs of theirs. Steve, do you think anyone suspects what? That nice, ordinary young couple like you and me is involved with a super powerful alien who came to Earth from another planet to wipe out an alien race of Dire Wraiths who's disguised as human beings? No way, Brandy. They're not ready for that kind of science fiction in the backwater burg like Claritin.
But they soon will be.
But not far away. In the nation's capital stands Project Safeguard, an ultra-modern edifice that might have been created by a writer of the fantastic. For where but in the pages of science fiction has there ever been horror to compare with that felt by Archie Stryker, a hardened criminal, a man who, hoping to save his planet from this apparent threat of the Space Knights, forswore his own humanity so that he might gain the power to crush Rom, only to find he'd been tricked by Rom's enemies to become a cyborg himself forever. Curse you, you alien scum! You used me, tricked me, lied to me. You said Rom was the menace to Earth, but it's you! You! It seems that losing his battle with Rom has made our human friend somewhat hysterical, Dr. Daedalus. And I suspect his mounting panic is more the result of realizing that with each passing second, his nervous system is becoming more strongly grafted to the Firefall armor, Agent Crawler.
That's just horrifying to realize, like, your nerve receptors and stuff merging with that suit. It's like, ooh.
See how the bioscope reveals that the linkage of human cells to inhuman metal is almost complete. I can feel it. Feel my blood running cold. My breathing being taken over by cold mechanical lungs. If only I listened to Ron when he tried to warn me. Now it's too late. Too late. Human fool. You were doomed the moment you entrusted yourself to the Dire Wraiths. Your fate was unimportant. All we wanted to do was kill Rom. But you failed us, even though we gave you the armor and the power of a Galadorian space knight who fell victim to Wraith treachery 2 centuries ago. Rom lives, and so you, Archie Stryker, must die. There, the sedative has taken effect. The human will sleep for all eternity if you have your way. Eh, Sister Sweet? Like, yes, like the Galadorian who first wore the Firefall armor, he cannot be allowed to live. But how do we slay a space knight? I'm told no one knows if Kara truly died when we captured him and stole his armor. What else, Krayler? The original Firefall must have died, just as the humans will surely perish. You are so cold, unemotional, and efficient, Rachel. How I envy the way you send humans to their deaths without remorse. I am a Dire Wraith, Ancient Krayler. Human, I high among the firstborn. I am incapable of pity. While I was of the secondborn, first here on Earth. Not human, but not as well trusted as those wraiths who were born in our home, the Dark Nebula. You are not trusted because you are not careful, Krayler. And the way you antagonize those human policemen when we retrieve Firefall after its defeat showed that you lack the subtlety a high race must possess when dealing with Earthlings. But I will say no more. It is for the High Council to judge and condemn. Which is why we are here, Sister Sweet. Enter and make your report. And do not attempt to lie, for your thoughts stand open before the sorcerer's probe of your fellow race. I am aware of that, Most High One, and of the dreadful price of this for deception. Very well, begin. The attempt to destroy Rom by fusing a human operative to Spaceknight armor has failed. In fact, by granting a human such power, we may have created yet another enemy. Thus, the human will be terminated, but an even greater danger threatens the secrecy of our work here on Earth. The danger of carelessness. In his arrogance, Agent Krayler has sown the seeds of suspicion in the minds of certain humans. He is unworthy of continued existence. What? Silence, race brother. Sweet is correct. You are a fool, and you present another greater danger to us. You have spent years establishing a race presence within the organization known as S.H.I.E.L.D, the Supreme Headquarters International Espionage Law Enforcement Division. But of late, that organization has been re-examining its internal security. You're in an imminent danger of exposure, and that we cannot allow. Nor can we allow you to abandon your Agent Krayler persona and develop a new human identity. You have proven too unreliable for a second chance. Thus, the only option remaining is Deathwing. As the High Race utters the dreaded name, he summons a sinister sorcerer's force. The Dire Wraiths known as S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent Krayler stands transfixed. His mind is mesmerized by the High Race power. While before him, a creature from the darkest depths of the vast void of space pierces the veils between dimensions, coming ever horribly closer. Deathwing, demons of the Dark Nebula, it's coming. It's coming. And then his mind freed, Krayler awakens to nightmare and to terror. Yeah! And then the nightmare is over. S.H.I.E.L.D. is no longer included in our sphere of operation. All future efforts to destroy Rom will be coordinated by the High Council within Project Safeguard through our sister race, Rachel Sweet. And thank you, Most High One. I will not fail. You dare not fail, my dear. Meanwhile, in the hills outside of Clareton, the search for Rom continues. A house stood in this clearing only yesterday. Today, the house is gone, but the very air still reeks with the sheer alienism of its presence. The sightless dogs sense that, and much else as well. They were Doberman pinchers once. They are Doberman pinchers no longer. For a combination of Dire Wraith science and sorcery has taken them forever beyond the pale of any earth-bred science of species of dog. They are telepathic trackers.
And what does a Doberman pincher do? Ouch!
I know a bayful bloodhounds who, when they scent the fleeting thoughtways of those who rode inside Stephen Jackson's van, set up a horrific howling wail and transform themselves into something quite different from dogs indeed.
Oh,
I've seen those hunted like kind of monsters before.
Then, defying all earthly laws of gravity and matter, they float upward above the ground, passing through solid objects, unfelt and unfeeling, on the trail of the mental spore so powerful it almost overwhelms their senses. A psychic scent that leads them here to Steve Jackson's auto garage and to Rom the Spaceknight. Is it the hellhound's telepathic baying that arouses Rom from his rest mode, or a premonition that some deadly danger is about to befall them? Hellhounds of the Dark Nebula, they have found me. Why summon my great weapon, the neutralizer from hyperspace? The dogs penetrate my armor, creating a massive dysfunction within my circuitry. No animals born of humans possess such awesome internal power, save those piteous beasts bred by the Dire Wraiths. for their own sinister purposes. I can hear an echo.
Hello.
Alex, is that your
Hello?
end?
Hang on.
Hello. Yep, it's on your end, Alex.
Yeah, I just muted.
Okay. Did you take off your headphones or something?
I never had them on.
You never have. That's weird. Why did now we were hearing the echo?
That is strange.
Yeah, I don't know.
Innocent creatures corrupted by the demonic design of the race sorcerer scientist Dr. Daedalus into embodiments of unnatural evil. The dogs mean to weaken me so that I will be helpless when their alien masters arrive. But Rom will never fall in battle, not against such as these creatures of race evil. Gods of Galador, the creature clings to me like some space parasite, hoping to bring about my death. But in order to interrupt my neural signals, the beast has become semi-solid, and that which is solid can be grasped and hurled away. Yet as Rom frees himself from the dark dog's hold, his neutralizer falls from his hand, giving the dogs of the Dark Nebula the opportunity they have been awaiting. For what good is a hunting hound if it possesses no method of securing its prey? I have been a fool. I should have suspected that it wasn't me the demon curs were sent to fetch, but my neutralizer. They have sealed it within an invisible force field, thus depriving me of its power. You have accomplished only half of your intended purpose, dog. You have disarmed me, but you will not keep me here helpless until your murderous masters arrive. Again, the arcane curs call upon the power given them by the Dire Wraiths, and this time the magic they summon is not meant to secure, but to stun their cyborg prey. The dogs are hurling the tires of Steve's trade at me with supernatural swiftness, driving me back. Yet the carrion curs must know that rings made of such synthetic substance cannot seriously harm my armored form. No, a barrage of steel-belted radio posed no threat to the Silver Space Knight, but the Dark Dog's real purpose in attacking him with the tires was but to force Rom into position beneath the car of the hydraulic lift. And the weight of this earthly vehicle cannot harm one who has soared uninjured through deadly meteor storms. Begone, Hans of Unholy! Carry this back to your masters as evidence of your failure. But reverting to their phantom state once again, the dogs of the Dark Nebula emerge unscathed from the wreckage, ready to renew their eldritch assault. What? Again? You strike at me with an object forged by the human, a power cable. But your phantom-like forms cannot penetrate my armor again, Kerr. My circuitry have compensated since your first assault. Denny says that. In order to wield solid matter, you have to become solid yourself. My cyborg armor feeds on the power drawn from this cable, Kerr, and your unshielded flesh is seared by its touch. And as the electrical shock lashes your system, I will carry our battle outside these confining walls. Huh? I go to drop Brandy off at work and come back to find a Holocaust? Oh, for the love of Mike, what's going on? What are you fighting in? What's coming at me through the hull of the garage? Please, Steve, they are dogs of the Dark Nebula, and if they cannot defeat me, they will strike at me and those who have befriended me, meaning yours truly, huh? Okay, I can take a hint. It's coming after me. What in blazes do I do now? Wait a minute, Jackson, use your head. Rom said these things are some kind of dog. Maybe they're even related to those eyeless canines we saw on the highway last night. Dogs are animals, and all animals are afraid of fire, right? Right. Okay, I soaked them with the best burning fuel there is, gasoline. Now to flick my bick.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
Spider's feeble flame sputters, but it stays lit as Steve Jackson hurls it towards the otherworldly attacker. And it's dead. I killed it and it screamed like a demon out of Hades before the flames destroyed it. Self-defense, that's what it was. That creature or me. So why do I feel like losing my lunch? Rom! My foe possesses supernatural strength, Steve, but the electrical charge it's absorbing is beginning to tell. Its struggles are feeble, weak. The fight has gone out of it. Thus, it is time to end this battle. Contemptuously, Rom hurls the creature, still tangled in the power line, away from him. It lands in the back of Steve's garage in a barrel filled with water. Hey, how about that? The dog hit the water and we won. Steve, Rom, hey, big buddy, what is it? What's wrong? Absorb too much electrical current during the fight. Systems overloading, rejecting the charge. You mean if you absorb too much energy, your armor acts like a circuit breaker and you shut down? Holy smokes, Rom! But you beat them. You were great. You can't conk out now. Come on, big fella, get up. You want folks to think you're a quitter? What am I going to do with a dying alien? So, how was that?
Oh man, leave us
Wow, that
alone.
was awesome. I love every issue. Just got better and better.
Great so far, my man. Action packed.
Yep, but yeah, that's where we're going to stop for this one. But overall, like,
It's so just Rom is the coolest. He's just so cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's badass. I love it.
Yeah.
6 issues down, and yet we still got up to issue 70.
I'm a pay for this. I will be a patient.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep. But yeah, though, overall, though, this is just a good start. What do you think about Rom?
Like I said, he was
Rom's great.
No, he reminds me
He's
of
so
Mega
cool.
Man. Yeah, he reminds me of Mega Man X. He's like always ready to do the right thing, but he's so
Echo.
bored.
Can you say that again, Eric?
I said he reminds me a lot of Mega Man X. He's so war torn, but he's still trying to do the right thing and protect the ones he cares about.
What about you, Alex?
Yeah, I just like him. He's, it's the classic story of man who's been turned to machine, but he still has those human elements and just kind of driven by revenge, but tries to hold on to who he is. It's really great stuff.
What about the Dire Wraiths?
That they
they're
frightening. They are frightening. They're like the Terminators. And they got this giant raven into the mix.
Yep. What were you out?
Yeah, same thing. I really like them. They're very evil and mysterious, and yeah, I just like them a lot. They're good villains.
And
Yep.
the fact that I mentioned body snatchers before. Like again, the fact that small town is invaded by these guys.
Poor Archie Stryker.
Yeah, poor Archie. Talk about a tragic villain who's didn't realize his mistake.
Yep. And again, everything seems to be flowing naturally. Yet you go to tell Matlow's making up as he goes too, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Marvel was like, okay, next issue. They only thought one ahead. They had never looking more than 10 issues back, but it works.
Yeah, but again,
yeah, it works here.
Yeah. But yeah, so interesting where we're going to be going with this going forward. Because trust me, there's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Rom is dead? Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, no.
Oh no. But yeah,
What's with the ferns? Are we reading Rom or Swamp Thing?
good question. But again, the fact that you're starting to have people already start to question things.
Hey, the letters to the editor. I miss those guys.
Yep. I'm glad they kept them.
Yeah,
I love when
absolutely.
you include them. I'm always like, Dear Stan and Jack, I was wondering what would happen if they were made into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
What other weird powers could they have done? Well, guys.
Yeah, but overall, though, this, again, just really good, really strong start. And, I mean, trying to find, I think going 6 issues is going to work if I'm going to read them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about the, again, there's all the dialogue and everything. What do you guys think of it?
It feels like this. It reminds me of those old space dramas or those action cartoons we used to watch reruns of back in the 70s and 80s. The 80s. It feels like excuse me. It's like one of those dramas where there's a big human element and but it benefits from being drawn as opposed to having the cheesy special effects, of course. But it would have worked as a Saturday morning cartoon.
Cut back a bit of it, the narration, of course.
Well, yeah, the narration would only come in spurts. Like, meanwhile, back in the hometown in West Virginia.
Yeah, I like that. It has that old school sci-fi feel, but it's sort of modernized for the time with the drama and the action. It's really good.
Absolutely.
Yep, and all the fact is some characters were introduced, like the S.H.I.E.L.D guy, Kaler. He ain't gonna last. They make that very clear. Not all characters are gonna survive by the end.
No, it's like they took the It's like I mentioned $6 Million Man earlier. It's like they take the show element, but add elements of the novels they were based on, Cyborg, that part to make it more dramatic.
What do you guys think of the armor? Not the armor, the artwork. The artwork.
Oh, the artwork's great. I love this. The artwork from Marvel.
Yeah, again, it definitely helps give it that like classic sci-fi vibe.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And yeah, and Salby Summer's going to last for a majority of the book. Like
Sweet.
right up until the 60s, I believe.
That's awesome.
And then he'll be taken over by Steve Ditko.
Ditko, my black boy.
Yep. But yeah, good.
I think he really is Spider-Man.
Yeah, but again, good start though. Very good, strong start.
Very good start. Can't wait to read more.
Yeah, yep. I want more. I thrive for the action of this.
Well, believe it or not, guys, this is episode 499, which means starting in the next video is going to be the big 500th lesson. And there's going to be changes.
Dude. Right. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And there's going to be changes.
Congrats are indeed in order.
Yep, like I said, there's going to be changes going forward, but I won't announce them until then. Mostly because I still haven't finalized them as of this recording.
Right.
But until then, no, we'll see you as we deal next time when we deal with more of the greatest of the Spaceknights, Rom. See you then.
Take care. Bye-bye.
See you next time. Later.